With a Hello everyone, welcome to another stream. How y'all doing? Rageology with 100 bits says, whoop whoop, Hannah in the house. How was grinding the beans earlier today? I hope it was alright. So today we're gonna be doing what I'm calling Weird Wednesday. I don't know. It's sort of cringe, but not necessarily. It's weird stuff. It's people doing weird stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and watch some of that. Bumble Homestead with 200 bits says, wackadoos with Hannah in Daily Do. So let's see, what are we gonna do first? Oh boy. We could do, let's see, chat, we have Terrence Howard talking at Oxford. Ran the Fool, what would you like me to put on? Rachel Oreo, thanks for 2 months, says, love your shirt, Hannah, thank you. And Hype Train has kicked off. Ran the Fool, let me know what you want me to wear for the hats off. Preferably not the professor hat, because it gives me a headache. And by preferably, I mean I'm not going to wear the professor hat right now. So anyway, we have Terrence Howard trying to disprove math. We have Skippy on more dates. We have the Immortality Bracelet guy. Darkside Phil, Freakouts, Wings of Redemption, Freakouts, both streamers, respectively. King Cobra, Time Cube Guy, and Lucas Werner. Hydrate. Which hat? Can do. Blackwing Hackety says, I'm playing the Soulsborne Final Fantasy game. I didn't know there was one. Maybe Skippy's hoping he gets his own dating show. He wants a reality show. He's said that several times. The problem is he's not interesting enough to have a reality show. He's just embarrassing. But, you know, whatever. Save Skippy? Okay. We can save Skippy. Math video? Alright, we'll jump into the math video. Spare Keys with 45 bits says, my cat is currently sitting on top of me so I can't get up to my laptop. Well, at least you're watching me on a phone or something. Whoa, Robert Morley with 10,000 bits. You never know when he's going to show up. He's like Jaws, but instead of being eaten, he just gives you money. Robert Morley says, hello, Hannah. Your hype train bits sugar daddy is here to take you to level 5. Wowzers. Yeah, 103% to level 5. That was just enough. Sky Comet Fallen says, hello, Hannah Chan, ooh, and Ran the Fool with 200 bits. Thank you very much. That was an easy hype train. Ooh, this hat and my top match so nicely. Look, I look like I coordinated. Do I have a wand? This is close enough to a wand, right? R. Westerby, thanks for 100 bits. This one's a little more wand-like, I guess. Bardlock says, budget bits. We'll wait a couple minutes to make sure the hype train's done before we start the video, because I want to clip it for YouTube. Blackwing Hecate says, also my Satanic Temple official member card came. Nice. What is this? This is a sonic screwdriver. This is Peter Capaldi's second sonic screwdriver. They didn't use it much in the show, unfortunately, and I really like the design, too. It's very toyetic, though. They definitely designed it with a toy in mind first, rather than the show, and they didn't use it very much, but I do like it. It kind of matches the TARDIS. It's cool. The screwdriver is basically a wand. It knew who it is. Yeah. And I guess even later, old Who. $120% of level 5. Put that back up. Let's see, I also have the 11th Doctors. I kind of need to change the battery in this one, it sounds like, though. Where does Peter Capaldi rank in terms of me for Doctors? He's pretty high. For New Who Doctors, he's probably my second favorite. My first favorite's Matt Smith. Logarth says, that's kind of like the wand I have, but mine plugs into the wall. My first favorite classic Doctor is probably the second Doctor. I didn't used to like the first Doctor very much, but he grew on me as I watched more of his stuff and listened to some audios. I really like the first Doctor now. Logarth says, that's kind of like the wand I have, but mine plugs into the... Oh, I read that one. Sorry. There's only Tom Baker. I like Tom Baker. I do. I like Tom Baker. That's just the cliche answer, you know? I also have the War Doctors. Anonymous Gifter. Thanks for gifting a sub. I have the fourth Doctors around here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. What about the Professors? The Professors broke. I have it around. I think it's downstairs, but it broke, unfortunately, so I gotta repair it or something. Which is a shame. Yeah, I have more in here. I actually have some of the toy ones that I used for the Professor's wand before I got a metal one custom made, but they're apart.
I have a better one for you.
Oh, yeah, he had this one. This is kind of a cool wand. It's just like a crystal.
Godparents got Logan and I matching wands.
Meek says...
Years ago.
It's very cool. Meek says, my favorite Doctor is the first incarnation of the Timeless Child. Get out of my chat. Rachology says, my favorite sonic screwdriver is the Sixth Doctor's. The Sixth Doctor's. I know the Fifth Doctor didn't have one. Did the Sixth Doctor? Or are you making a joke that your favorite is him not having one? Don't feel like the Sixth Doctor had one. Rachology says, my favorite Sonic... I read that one. Mike says, what's your thoughts on the rumors that said 13th Doctor is going to regenerate into the 10th Doctor? I hope not. If they wanted to... And Baha and I had talked about this. If they wanted to do a season that kind of went back in time and showed, like, here's some 10th Doctor adventures you never saw, kind of like the audios do, that'd be fine, but I do not like the idea of the Doctor regenerating into a different version of the Doctor. It goes very much against how I think it should work. I don't like it. Michael Sheen's good. That'd be fun as the Doctor.
Oh, it's so beautiful today.
I know, it's really nice out. Anyway, alright. The hype train's over. Thanks, everyone, for such a wonderful hype train. Let's get into the content now. You've heard me rant about Doctor Who enough. Oliver appears to be having a herpes breakout in his eyeball, the poor kitty.
Yeah, it's not like super like Lou's. He was just, I think he's just having like an upper respiratory thing.
Gotcha.
So he's got leakage.
Rachology says, yes, it's a joke. To quote Moffat, I like it when the Doctor is all, look at me, I can save the universe using a kettle and some string. I get it. I really like the sonic screwdriver, though. I was upset when Capaldi did the sonic glasses, because I thought they were dumb.
They are dumb.
Like, I wouldn't mind if they were a separate thing, like he just had sunglasses that also had screens in them. Like, that's fine. But, like, replacing the screwdriver is sacrilegious. It's fine if he doesn't have a screwdriver, but if you're gonna have a sonic device, it needs to look like a screwdriver. He's basically a wizard. He's the wizard. The Doctor is canonically Merlin, so... Sixth Doctor sonic device. What is
very pretty.
This is not what you meant to send me, I'm almost positive.
Yes, I said wrong link.
Steve with the Q says, never enough ranting about Doctor Who. Here's the link. Did this ever come up for real? Because that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Where would that possibly be? Or did it happen in, like the audios or something and they just described it? Because my god, that is terrible. Does CC count as weird? I'd consider him more conspiracy. He is weird, but, you know, today's for less conspiracy stuff and more just weird stuff. I like the Sixth Doctor. He's done good stuff in the audios. But he had a rough time when he was in the live action. Anyway, let's get into the stuff. So Terrence Howard, who you would probably know from his various acting roles, this is gonna just be like I'm a pleb who doesn't know anything about movies. Cats, don't fight, please. But what I most know him from is Iron Man, the first one. He played Rhodey before he got recast by Don Cheadle. He's also apparently in that show Empire, which I haven't watched. I've heard it's good, I know. But anyway, I don't know if you know this, he's gone insane in the membrane lately. He thinks he is on the verge of basically disproving mathematics and physics as we know it. He was invited to, I believe, Oxford in order to talk about his acting career, you know? Instead, he decided to go on a rant about a bunch of woo-woo nonsense. So, I thought it'd be fun to take a look and see how far gone the war machine is. It's from Attack of the Cybermen. It's a tool he used to fix the TARDIS and happens to put in his pocket. Uses once more in the story. It was never a sonic screwdriver. Gotcha.
Well, I know we're starting a bit late. We're trying to get some stuff loaded up that we won't be able to use, so we're going to do it a little differently now. We're going to do it manually, eye to eye, person to person. I'm Terrence Howard, and I'm so...
Sorry, one more bits. Mike Mack said, isn't the guy the 11th Doctor met in the museum during the anniversary special the Doctor also who stated he will regenerate into his favorite faces? Yes, I'm not a fan of that, if I'm being honest.
Honored to have been invited here to speak at Oxford. Chris is so magnificent. He's been the kindest person, and he's really an angel for you guys because he can bring a ton of people here just with his kind words. How many of you are interested in acting? None. Great. Maybe a couple of y'all. So, you know I didn't have any training as an actor, right? No? You know, I grew up in a real bad part of Cleveland, Ohio. Wore little girls' dresses for the first 2 years of my life because we didn't have any money for clothes for me. I managed to climb my way out of there by doing a fancy little thing called lying. You know? You guys do any of that? Back in 1986, when I started working in this business, there was no thing called the internet. So when I put my first resume together, since I was trying to go and get jobs, I'd go knock at doors and go and do castings, and nobody would take me seriously because I didn't have an agent and I didn't have a resume. So I put together a 3-page resume of all the projects that I wanted to do.
Sky Comet Fallen says, F Cleveland, it's the mistake on the lake. You know what this calls for? Sorry for the aside.
Fun times in Cleveland today. Cleveland! Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Come and look at both of our buildings. Buy some food that's prepared near the street. Who knows, you might even see this guy. You should come on down to West 6th Street. It's the perfect place if you're a douchebag. Watch the poor people all wait for buses. Who the fuck still uses a payphone? Here's the place where there used to be industry. This train is carrying jobs out of Cleveland. Cleveland leads the nation in drifters. Here's a statue of Moses Cleveland. He's the guy who invented Cleveland. Yeah! Fun times in Cleveland again. Still Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Under construction since 1868. See our river that catches on fire. It's so polluted that all our fish have AIDS. See the sun almost 3 times a year. This guy has at least 2 DUIs. The flats look like a Scooby-Doo ghost town. Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Our economy's based on LeBron James. Buy a house for the price of a VCR. Our main export is crippling depression. We're so retarded that we think this is art. It could be worse though, at least we're not Detroit! We're not Detroit!
And I was going to, and I put my name on them, starring in all these things, and that was my first resume. And it got me into the door, and as time went on over the last 35 years, I filled up that thing, so it's no more lies on my resume. It's all truth. But it wasn't lies then, it was what I was going to make happen. And that's what I want to say. Most of what you are trying to accomplish today or tomorrow is the same thing you were trying to accomplish 20 years ago. You're the same person that you were then.
If you're the same person you were 20 years ago, that's not generally great. There are some things about you that stay the same, but if you don't grow and have new goals over 20 years, kinda yikes.
If you lose that little spark that kept you motivated, that little piece, like this is my vocation. I love acting half the time, but there's some downfalls of it. You know, a lot of actors end up with personality identity crisis and conflicts because you have so many characters you're playing. And if you really commit to the characters, you become like a piece of clothing. And your body becomes what they put on. And the character has a tendency of wanting to own you. They don't let go. What you saw in Anthony Hopkins and Hannibal Lecter, that monster lives in him.
What? No, I think he went home and he was fine. I don't think he's eating people, Terrence. I think he's fine.
That's why we believed it. He had to tap into something very ugly in our human nature sometimes. And as an actor, sometimes I tap into beautiful things. But like with
What part do you have to tap into to go?
Lucius, and the character I play with Lucius, his life is filled with turmoil. So 90% of the day I'm walking around carrying his turmoil and also the turmoil from me and my own family. And then how do you have time to really bring yourself back to who you are? Because that's the most important thing. That's the thing that's going to bother you more than anything else. You will look at yourself one day and you won't know who you are because you don't remember who you were. You know, sometime along the way, or maybe at 13 or 14.
I know he's explaining method acting, but I kind of find method acting to be super cringe, so that's not better for me. I don't know. Like, there are certainly actors and actresses who have used the idea of method acting to actually get, like, really good performances. But then you get people like Jim Carrey who act like an asshole on the set of Man on the Moon and make it hell for everyone else to satisfy his ego, or Jared Leto being a douchebag to his co-workers on Suicide Squad in order to turn in the worst performance of the Joker ever put to film, and it's like, maybe just act. You don't have to pretend to be a person all the time to act like them on film. Rachology says, my favorite description of a place from ancient Imperial Chinese Gazette in which the governor of Wuling Mountains area described it as, quote, a place with never more than 3 days without rain and never more than 3 feet of level ground. That's a non sequitur.
We let go of the little person that kept us going. That little person that was always there, I got you, man. I'm here, I got you. Don't go in there, I ain't going in there. That person, when we get about 13 or 14, we get embarrassed of him. And we push him aside and we don't listen to him anymore. And he's always knocking. Hey, hey. And after so long of a time, maybe 10, 15 years, you don't even know him. You show up at your own door and you don't even know who you are. Your family doesn't know who you are. So it's important, no matter what you do, no matter what challenges you go through, you remember who you are. You may think you've been here for 20 years on this planet, but we know that energy, it is forever. It doesn't die. It continually recycles itself. So you know that you've been a trilobite.
No, Terrence, that's not how that works. Just because the matter and energy in my body is recycled and used, you know, because of the conservation of mass and energy doesn't mean doesn't mean the me that is me was ever anything else. Just the constituent atoms. Meek says, method acting as it's known today is nothing how it was originally conceived. The original method actors like Strasberg, Meisner, Adler, etc. would have thought these method actors were stupid and bastardizing their art.
350 million years ago, or some part of it, some parts of you were part of a pterodactyl. Every one of us have been a part of everything in this universe, so if we tap into those things in ourselves and
That's not true.
remember those things in ourselves.
Don't get me wrong, again, the matter in our bodies and energy has been recycled countless times throughout history, but that doesn't mean you were definitely part of a pterodactyl. Speak the Truth, thanks for 13 months, says, I didn't know what to put as a message, so I'll request a substitutionary locomotion spell from the movie Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Triguna Mycoidis Trachonium Satis D. I like Bedknobs and Broomsticks. They're clearly trying to recapture sort of their popularity of Mary Poppins, and they didn't quite do it, but it's still a cute movie.
We have that power. Now, my vocation has been an actor, and I've loved that. I've been able to take care of my family as an actor, but that's never been my passion. I was an actor because it was like Jesus walking on water for tips, because he could do it. That's what he did. It was a natural thing for him.
I've not heard that metaphor before, or simile. Did he say like? I think he said like. I've not heard that simile used before.
I've always been an empath. I've always been emotionally.
Why is it the weirdest people call themselves empaths? Who's the YouTuber that's calling himself an empath all the time, even though he's clearly, like, really unempathetic? I think he's made movies and stuff, and he's a weirdo. Is he the one that did Blackface? Shane? Yeah. Rageology says, it was in response to the Cleveland bit. I had to fact-check the area, which made it ultimately for comedic purposes. But by then I had gone through the effort, and I thought, fuck it, I'm paying her to read it, so this is just for my satisfaction. Fair. Sorry, I wasn't trying to be a dick. I appreciate your messages, regardless. I just didn't understand the connection. Narnia Owl says, I guess that would at least explain why I love owls so much, and dinosaurs, but nah, man.
Connected to everything. But the thing that I was most spiritually connected to, that was my driving force, was physics.
Oh no, here we go. Don't worry, guys. He's about to tell us all about physics and why he knows everything about it. This should go well. Oh boy, hydrate.
It was wondering how the universe really came to be. And I fell in love with this thing called the flower of life. You guys know Da Vinci?
Oh, God. No, I've not seen Turning Red yet. I plan on watching it with Baja at some point, but I have not had a chance now.
Do you know what he spent most of his life trying to figure out?
I don't know. I was going to say alchemy, but that was Newton, right? Isaac Newton was into alchemy and biblical numerology. I don't know what Leonardo's deal was.
Who in here knows the flower of life?
Oh, no. For those who don't know, the flower of life is like a... It's like a geometric shape that woo-woo... That kind of woo-woo, like, spirit science... Fifth dimension... conspiracy theorist crunchy weirdos are into. They think it's a shape that has like cosmic significance and that it has something to do with like sacred geometry. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know specifics. It's all bullshit. It's just it's a woo-woo conspiracy crunchy granola did too much acid in college kind of thing. And India Owl says, also, I wonder, how many people were sitting there wondering if he was making some weird performance until they realized he was just going crazy? Logarth says, how he would know the new leader for his brothers when Splinter eventually died. Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Because turtles. I get it.
Couple, I'm gonna get you something.
He brought visual aids.
Because I want you guys to know.
Do you want me to hold it?
Huh?
Do you want me to hold it?
No, I'm gonna hold it up. I want you guys to know about a 6,000-year-old secret.
Imagine coming to this thinking you're gonna hear about acting.
6,000 years, mankind has been trying to decipher this one little thing called the flower of life. Now, do you know the flower of life? Have you guys ever seen this before? Now, you know this is one of the oldest symbols in human history, right?
I wouldn't even know how to begin fact-checking that.
Or do you not know?
That's such a vague general claim. I don't even know how you would check that.
This symbol was found in the Temple of Osiris in Egypt, and it had been molecularly burned into the wall. And it's 6,000 years old. This same symbol has been found in the forbidden temples in China, sitting under the fufu dogs. And the foot on it, the flower of life, saying whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe.
If we were playing bingo, it would be ancient wisdom on the bingo card, but we're not. J.I. Lost says, so the flower of life is a wallpaper pattern? Basically, it's a cool symbol people like to draw. It's like that weird S people drew in middle school. It's like that. It's just people like specific symbols, because they're mimetic. Hernandia Owl says, this reminds me of that one Simon Dan video where a flat earther was trying to convince people in a business call. Bardlock Moses says, I've seen that image tattooed on a woman. Don't ask where. I'm gonna ask where. Where? Radiology says, all the psychology students get out their notebooks and start writing.
There were secrets in that flower of life that Da Vinci spent his whole life trying to uncover. There were secrets in that flower of life that Newton spent his whole life in secret trying to uncover. The same secrets that Pythagoras was desperately trying to uncover. But their problem was they kept seeing this in a two-dimensional space. They couldn't get it out of this two-dimensional frame, and as a result, they got stuck in this plane, a flat plane. Now, what Da Vinci and all of them wanted to do, they were trying to find a way to bring this flower to life, because what is inside of it? Well, apparently, there were secrets inside of it.
It's literally just a shape. It's a bunch of circles. It's circles overlapping with other circles.
Shapes, they got the Merkaba and all of those other things out of it. But they were misled by something I think called a straight line. You guys believe in straight lines?
Yeah.
You believe there's straight lines in the universe?
I mean, what do you mean, Terrence? What does that mean? As a mathematical geometric concept? Yeah? A straight line is just the imaginary space between 2 points. So yes.
Well, let me hit you with something. All energy in the universe is expressed in what? It's in motion. If something is still, there's no energy. Kinetic, right? All motion is expressed in what? You look at galaxies, are they expressed in straight lines? Expressed in vortices. All vortices are expressed in what? Waves. All waves are curved. Show me a straight line.
To be clear, this is a 52-minute presentation and we're 8 minutes in. Nick says, hi, I just got in, and FYI, Hannah, you're gonna get DMCA'd for showing season 7 of Empire. Sky Comet Fallen says, the audience looks so uncomfortable.
In nature. You show me where the platonic solids come from.
They're conceptual geometric ideas? Like, is there such a thing as a perfect circle in nature? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But when we're trying to calculate things that are circular, it makes sense to use circles. Like, there are things that we use platonic solids for, like, in terms of geometry. Like, when we're talking about, like, perfect right angles and stuff like that. Just because in reality we don't often see things naturally that are perfect, like, circles that are 360 degrees or right angles that are 90 degrees or whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. That's not the point of geometry. Renania Owl says, at least it's an idea no flat earther would get on board with for once. They do love their straight lines. That's true.
Where do they have their foundations in our universe? Are there any straight lines?
Yes. Pick 2 points. Anywhere. Pick any 2 points. The space between them, the most direct space between them, is a straight line. H. Baird says, I have a PhD in physics. This is giving me Hellprune flashbacks from when I was in grad school.
You look at anything, there are no straight lines. That's been the mistake. We've been looking at these straight lines, this Euclidean way of thinking, and missing the curvature of nature. So here we are, back with the curvature of nature. And you have all these little pieces. Now, this has always been an information system. So
Is it? Nick says only gay lines, which is based.
compare some of these points, take a point here, and say, well, what's the space in between all of these things? Now, they've said that all the in-between spaces, if this is the Earth and this is the moon right here,
Where are we getting astronomical bodies from?
all this in-between space is filled with what? A void. There's nothing in the void. Well, I found that there is something in the void. The elementary fundamental particles that they've been searching for at the CERN collider, the Hadron Collider in CERN, I found that their energy signatures matched perfectly to some of the pieces that I was able to pull out of here. So I'm gonna bring some of those now. Do I have a minute? Am I good? Okay.
KBS says, I can't take it anymore. I'm a mathematician and this is complete PS. There are straight lines. Not Euclidean straight lines, but straight lines nonetheless. And J.I. Lost says, so basically he's saying that straight lines do not occur in good wallpaper patterns. True.
Now, all of this was supposed to be on a projector for you guys. I don't have that. So what I do have is
Like a projector connected to a computer, or like an Elmo?
a bit of a Chanel bag, or an old Chanel bag.
Does he just have a bag that he brings around with him to explain his woo-woo bullshit to people? That's amazing.
A box, as it were. And we're going to talk about a couple of items in here that are so hard to even express here. Afterwards, y'all going to have to just take a look at these. My God, I won't have the time to do it. I couldn't show you, but I am going to show you. I didn't come here not to show you. Now, whether you guys are able to express, understand some of these things, Lord help me.
How do you sit in a room for an hour and watch a grown man have an absolute, like, insane breakdown like this? This is so amazing.
I'm confused. What I've done is I've figured out about 7 different elementary particles, fundamental particles. And then there were secondary generational particles that seemed to occur. And when these things began to build up more and more, they began to create their own systems. And these systems is what I brought to Oxford because I would like...
The guy behind him on stage looked like he's looking at someone like, I swear I thought he was going to come and talk about Iron Man. Stone Corbell says, insert get with it Monty Python clip here. Or get on with it. This is Terrence Howard. He was in the first Iron Man. Prakagam says, next weird stream we should watch the MIT Time Cube lecture. I have it in one of these tabs, actually. Hernania Evel says, it's like watching a car crash in slow motion.
for you guys to examine them.
At this point, you'd pretend to be sick and leave. You've done it before. I wouldn't. I'd be fascinated. I love this kind of stuff. It's why I do streams on it. I'd sit there and be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever been present for. This is amazing. These are the ramblings of a madman. And I'm lucky enough to be here for it. Spare Keys says, I remember seeing Elmos being used all throughout high school. Once a teacher called it the emo, and it was really funny. J. Lost says, we watch an hour of a man having a breakdown every time we watch Fox News or political candidate debates. Rachology says, just looking at the pattern, he does know it's constructed on a grid pattern. I guess not. Overthought says, this is a terrible intersection of systems. Has legitimately silenced good ideas from people from his race, and he's made enough money now that no one tells him when he's having a bad idea, so he thinks he's genius. And H. Baird says, if you want something even better, look up Brian Josephson. He has a Nobel Prize in Physics, and I saw him give a talk about how moneyed interests were keeping cold fusion under wraps. Interesting. Hydrate. Let me... cold fusion, just so I can save it for another time. Is this him? Does he have a video about it? We'll take a look later.
Them to test, because I bet you will find all the fundamental particles that they've been looking for in the unified theory of the universe. It's a big statement, but I've got a lot of stuff to back it up if given the opportunity.
He thinks he has
so,
a unified...
the flower of life has been...
Like, he thinks he has unified Newtonian physics and quantum physics, something that has eluded the scientific community since we learned about quantum physics. That's impressive.
Opened, and when we get an opportunity, I'd love to show you some of these things. Can I go on?
Yep, you good?
Mm-hmm. I can't, without being able to...
Can I go on? You're good? Hold on, I gotta turn the size on this down a little bit.
show the pieces, it's a whole different monster. But all of these wave conjugations, all of these states of matter, all of these things, there's time, it's time for that to be changed now. We have changed all of our buildings to be aerodynamic. Our airplanes are no longer based on a two-dimensional Euclidean way of life, but our math is still based on a two-dimensional way. And
is he under the impression that there aren't maths that take into account 3 dimensions? And more?
I think in order for us to reach the future, we have to examine that. Do you guys know about loops in math? Do you believe in loops? Do you know the square root of 2? Do you think that's a loop? Do you believe that?
The square root of 2 is... Wait. No. There's no number times itself that makes 2, right? At least not a... Like, what's the word? I'm not a math person. I'm sorry. I'm a talk person. I'm a word person. Spare Keys says, has he mentioned quarks at all? Quarks are all I know about quantum physics. It's an irrational number. Gotcha.
That the square root of 2 is the square root of 2. Yes or no? Hands up? No? Hello? Oh. I want y'all to take out your phone for a minute then.
Oh God,
thing.
why is he like
Everybody...
lecturing? You were here to talk about your acting career, sir. Randy Owl says, Z-Axis be like, I'm about to ruin this man's whole career.
Put it on the calculator and turn it to the side so you can get all the long numbers out of it. Okay? Now I want you to put in 2 and square root it. 2, hit the square root, you'll get 1.414213562373095 ... right? Now I want you guys to do me a favor.
So is it just like a repeating number? It just goes on?
Cube it.
Kind of like 100 divided by 3 is like 33.33333 repeating infinitely.
It'll see right over there, it'll be x to the 3. Can y'all do it? Have you cubed it? It'll see 2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. Now that makes sense. I want you guys to do me a favor. Divide it by 2. Get that number? Cube it again. Divide it by 2. Cube it again. And I want you to do that until the end of your lives. And that number will still come up with 2.828, 4271, 2174, 6190. Any other number that you, above 2, that you put in and you cube and you square, cube and square and divide by 2. By the 6th operation, it has moved into an exponential number that you can't even imagine. Any number below 2 that you do that same operation with, it will go into an exponentially small matter and number. This is what we call a loop. It is illogical, it doesn't make sense, and it does not.
Any math people in the chat want to explain why what he's saying is stupid? Because I'd love to hear an actual explanation.
Make math make sense. So these are some things that I'm bringing to the
Is he okay? No, he's not okay.
fore, and that I would like to question. I would like to audit the math, the world of mathematics, and I would
He's going to audit math!
like to audit how we view the Platonic
Do we need to have a math person to say he's being silly? No, but they could do it more effectively.
solids, because I think the new wave conjugations will tell a better story of how our world works. And that's it.
What the fuck, Terrence? KBS says, it's not illogical, it's a well-known thing. I'd have to take a lot of time to explain it. Alright, I'll trust you. I'll trust you on that one. I imagine there's probably a Wikipedia page for mathematical loops. Kirthan says his logic sent my wife into a reboot cycle from how stupid it is. Did I miss your bits, Nick? Sorry. Nick says, congratulations, you just discovered that x to the half times 3 minus 1 is equal to x to the half, since 3 over 2 minus 1 equals 1 over 2. Oh god, I can't do math. I can't even talk math. Give me a monologue and I can read it out, okay? Give me an article and I can read it with gusto. Ask me a question and I can deliver a monologue on my feelings about it. You give me a basic math equation? Can't do it. Brain shuts down.
It wasn't quite what I thought, though, Chris.
Yeah,
but I wanted my pictures. You guys got it, and y'all won't even have time afterwards. But I've spent 45 years searching these things out and trying to figure out what the universe really, how it really worked. And we've come to find that the universe, they are abandoning the standard model, the ideas of black holes and dark matter, for an electric model of the universe.
No, they are not. That's a conspiracy theory thing. The whole electric universe thing is, from my understanding, crackpot nonsense.
That is in response to the Birkeland currents and all these things. It's a better version, a better vision of how we should see the universe. That's how I see it, and I think it should be explored.
So just to add some context to this, Terrence and I have spent the afternoon together, and Terrence has showed me a lot of this and explained to my feeble mind basically what he's theorizing. I thought...
Here are the most basic ones. Oh god.
This is the most dangerous problem in mathematics, one that young mathematicians are warned not to waste their time on. It's a simple conjecture that not even the world's best mathematicians have been able to solve.
And India Owl says it was considered a possible approach in science for like 5 minutes.
Paul Erdős, a famous mathematician, said, "Mathematics is not yet ripe enough for such questions." Here's how it works. Pick a number, any number. 7? Good choice. Okay, we're gonna apply 2 rules. If the number is odd, we multiply by 3 and add 1. So 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. If the number is even, we divide by 2. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. Now we keep applying these 2 rules. 11 is odd, so we multiply by 3, 33, and add 1, 34. Even, divide by 2, 17. Odd. Multiply by 3, 51, add 1, 52. Even, divide by 2, 26. Still even. Divide by 2, 13. Odd. So we multiply by 3, 39, add 1, and that's 40, which is even. So we divide by 2, 20, divide by 2, 10, divide by 2, 5. Odd. Multiply by 3, 15, add 1, 16, divide by 2, that's 8, and then 4, 2, and 1. Now, 1 is odd, so we multiply by 3 and add 1, which equals 4. But 4 goes to 2 goes to 1, so we're in a loop, and the lowest number is 1. Now, the conjecture is this. Every positive integer, if you apply these rules, will eventually end up in the 4-2-1 loop. This is commonly called the Collatz conjecture after German mathematician Lothar Collatz, who may have come up with it in the 1930s. But the problem has many origin stories and many names.
I respect but do not understand the brains of mathematicians who sit around just thinking up this stuff. Like, I am so fundamentally disconnected with thinking about math in any way, shape, or form that I cannot imagine a situation where I sit around and think about theoretical math things. It's just so interesting to me. Again, I have tons of respect for them. I'm not saying that, like, math is excellent. It's the foundation of basically every STEM field. Like, mathematics is fucking awesome. I just don't personally get it. Nick says, and when we hit 16, I get the ahigao face because powers of 2 do that to me as a software engineer. Ahigao. You guys have explained how to say that to me before, but I don't know your hentai words.
It's also known as the Ulam conjecture.
Spare Keys says, the best I am at actual math is probably
Tani's problem, Thwaites conjecture, Haas's algorithm, the Syracuse problem, and simply 3n plus 1.
Why is 3x plus 1 so famous?
Among professional mathematicians, maybe it's not famous but infamous, in the sense that if someone actually admits in public that they're working on it, then there's something wrong with them.
The numbers you get by applying 3x plus 1 are called hailstone numbers, because they go up and down like hailstones in a thundercloud, but eventually they all fall down to 1, or at least we think they do. You can think of the numbers as representing the height above the ground in meters.
I've seen the face on Sarah's Twitter. I definitely have, yes. I'm familiar with what it is, I just don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, so it's a phenomena in math. Cool.
The couple of things that you showed me that I thought were really good were how explaining the story about how originally the flower of life, everybody just followed the lines and didn't understand the space, and you had the quite good models in there.
Yes.
Oh no, he's egging him on. KBS with 100 bits, Spare Keys with 45 says, probability, I can't word anymore. I thought there was something missing there.
Of how they connect together and how you have managed to put it into a 3D shape rather than just people looking at 2D.
2D.
Perhaps you want to explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, the idea of, like one of the things I've been saying, the Euclidean mindset has kept us so locked away. Like there's tons of paperwork of Da Vinci working on the flower of life and trying to unravel it. But
Like, Da Vinci was clearly a brilliant guy. I don't think anyone would dispute that, but brilliant people also have bad ideas that don't go anywhere. And I'm not even saying it was a bad idea at the time, you know? But like, yeah, that's something that didn't go anywhere. So did his helicopter idea, you know? There's the start of an idea there, but no follow through, and it doesn't really go anywhere, his corkscrew thing. Newton, also, he was into alchemy and biblical numerology, another brilliant guy who had some ideas that were bad.
every single existence, every single example, you see him making straight lines and trying to make these straight lines bend in, and therefore he was never able to open it up because the universe is curved, all space is curved. And as a result, what I was doing in trying to find these straight lines, I abandoned
Greg Locke got banned from Twitter. Rad.
the idea of the straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is curved space because you cannot force your way straight through space. Even electricity, as it moves from a southern plane to a northern plane, it always goes northeast in its direction. And magnetism, as it expands out, it goes southwesterly. And that's the spin. That's how you always know whether it's magnetism or electricity. It's the spin. Is it northeast or is it southwest? But in trying to define curved matter, I'm so sorry, I get so distracted. Trying to define the spaces, it allowed me to see that all of these in between, what we
I'm really glad they couldn't get the overhead projector to work, because this works so much better as a madman holding a transparent sheet in front of wax paper. It's really like the cherry on top the crazy sundae. It helps.
have been dealing with is these petals. All of mankind have dealt with these petals, but it's these other shapes that we've ignored constantly. Well, those
Nick says, the witches got Greg Locke's Twitter account. It was a good day.
other shapes were the in-between spaces. They were the things that filled up the vacuum of space. And all these particles that I have, I think are the full proof of that. And it is also the full proof of the wave particle argument.
Yeah. Do you want to also explain a little bit about what your intention was in sort of bringing this up, and sort of what, because something you said was the next step is like, how do you apply this?
Well, here we are on this planet. Can I do that point? Our planet is moving away from our sun at 6 inches a year. You guys know that. 15 centimeters a year. Our planet is...
One sec. Did my Blu-ray cases get here? No. Aw.
Away from the sun. So in less than 500 million years, our planet will be out of the Goldilocks zone. We'll be somewhere near where Mars is, somewhere halfway between there. So life will not be able to be sustained on this planet anymore. So if we're...
Bored Ape launched their own Bitcoin called ApeCoin. Good lord. Are they going to migrate their stuff to that from Ethereum?
Going to be able to sustain ourselves as a species, we have to become interstellar. Not just interplanetary, we have to become interstellar.
What the fuck are... Terrence! You're an actor!
But with approximations, you cannot become interstellar. You cannot become interstellar with a point that will take you all the way over here with a straight line when the actual event is taking place over here. When you're going 600 quadrillion miles, you can't make a mistake. You need precision, and that's what the math is about. These pieces predict the natural distribution of matter and the distribution of where you can find yourself in that space, and I'm confident behind it. For 40 years I've worked on this, and I think it's ready.
So I've sat also at lunch, basically trying to get my head around this, and also was very, very, very skeptical, and I put my hands up and say that. And one of the things that you mentioned was sort of like...
Astro Fox says, the sun is also heating up as it goes. We're going to get burned to death before we freeze to death. Littlest Little Leafy says, I love how he keeps saying what I've discovered is, like he's actually discovered anything.
How this applies to, I think it was the electric sun model.
He got jealous of Tony Stark, so he decided to do a little bit of science of his own, okay? He's something of a scientist himself.
And that's where it's a theory that suggests that the sun is powered from external forces rather than what is usually, rather than nuclear fusion, which is the general consensus among scientists. And the reason for that is because there's not a production there's no evidence to suggest that the byproduct, neutrinos, are there. And
the neutrinos
what Terrence is trying to prove, I think, is that because the fact that you can't detect whether neutrinos are there or not, there must be another way in which they're powered. My argument to him is that to suggest that neutrinos don't exist, because we have a lot of evidence to not know that they're physically there, but a lot of the effects and how they interplay with other things, to suggest that they don't exist is not only to...
KBS says, as a non-Euclidean geometer, I don't need your woo-woo BS.
Get rid of that small theory, but also quite a lot of other huge laws of physics.
Are they laws or are they ideas of physics?
Well...
Mathematically, they're laws, as far as we understand.
Why don't you respond to that and talk about how a lot of people have that sort of narrow mindset? You talked about identity.
Yeah, the identity element. The things that make our math works. Like if I said to you, what's 1 times 1? What'd you say? 1?
Oh no, I've heard this part before. He fundamentally doesn't understand even basic math. This is so bad. Chat, what's 1 times 1? Nornindia Owl says, spoilers, we found the neutrinos. We just couldn't detect as many as expected at first. Zarek Shadow says 1, 1, 1. Nick says 69. Another person said 69. You're all very, very clever. Haha, nice. Someone says a dick. That's even less effort as a joke. 1 times 1. Hex Girl, would you be surprised to know... Oh, so did Magic Lad. Anyone who said 2... Terrence Howard believes you're correct. Blackwing Hecate says, is this the 0 thing? No, I think he thinks it's 2.
It equals 1. Now, what would Newton say is that? Action times an action. That's a reaction, right? Anybody in here that thinks 1 times 1 equals 1, then you give me 2 pounds and I'll give you a pound back. And we'll call that even, right?
That's not what multiplication is.
Because 1 times 1 equals 1.
Yes, because it's 1 time. I have this pen once. This is one instance of this one pen. Therefore, I have 1 pen. Nandy Owl says I'm smelling time cube logic.
An unbalanced equation. What we need to do is, the first thing in math is you're supposed to have a balanced equation. 1 times 1 equaling 1 is an unbalanced equation. But the
No, it's not.
identity element, which is like the Jim Crow laws of
This is the same logic as 0 factorials equals 1.
the 60s. They say that anything multiplied by 1 becomes that same number as itself.
Yes, because it's that number 1 time. Umatza, thanks for 5 months.
Well, the laws of physics has to break down in order for that to take place. Action.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Let's say you have a random number, 86. 86 times 1 means 86 1 time. So 1 times 86 is 86 because it is itself. It is already 1 of itself. It's 86. Did he just invoke Jim Crow? I didn't notice if he did.
Action and reaction for 1 times 1 to equal 1. In comparison to if I said, what's $1 times $1?
Go back 20 seconds.
For 1 time. Laws of physics has to break down in order for that to take place. Action and reaction for 1 times 1 to equal 1. In comparison to if I said, what's $1 times $1?
This is
Anybody know
stressful.
it's $1? Well, what's
You can't multiply an object by another object. That's not how it works.
a dime
I'll
times
multiply you by an object.
Like, they're not the same thing. Like, the numbers,
a dime or 10 pence?
10 pence, yeah.
10 pence times 10 pence? That's a pound, right? 10 pence times 10 pence? Is that right, honey?
But you wouldn't multiply 10 pence times 10 pence. You would say, I have 10 pence. I need this 10 times. Therefore, it's 100, which would equal, I guess, a pound. If there's I assume there's 100 pence in a pound. You're not saying 10 pence times 10 pence. You're saying 10 pence 10 times. The second number is not more pence. It's the number of times you have the first thing.
What about 100 pence times 100 pence?
You can't. That's not how this works. Multiplication isn't breeding. Yeah, it's so I don't know why he thinks this is what multiplication is.
That's a pound times a pound, right? That's $100, ain't it? What about a quarter? What about 4 quarters times 4 quarters? That's $1, right? That's a pound, right? Well, that's $4. Now, all of these things are legal. The banks can say $1 times $1 is $1 and give you that. Or the banks can say to a friend, $1 times $1 is a quarter times a quarter. It's 4 quarters times 4 quarters, and give that person $4. They can
What the fuck is he talking
say to
about?
another person, $1 times $1 is
This doesn't make sense. Ha 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 ha.
100 pence times 100 pence. That person gets $100, so that money is generated. And this is all legal.
This is not where money comes from, Terrence.
Do you think it's not happening in the banks? This is what 1 times 1 equaling 1 has got us. This inconsistency of our monies and our economy is sitting in the balance. And the rest of our future is sitting in the balance because our science has been stunted as a result of the problems in mathematics, because math asks for the basic laws of physics to break down in order for one.
He's arguing for change. Why are there so many conspiracy people named Terrence? The psychic toll it takes being named Terrence damages the reasoning centers of the brain, I guess. Sorry, any Terrences in my audience. You were sacrificed for that joke.
1 times 1 to equal 1. In order for 1 times 0 to equal nothing, laws of conservation of energy has to disappear.
What are you? No, they don't. If you have 1 pen, no times, it's basically saying I don't have any of this, then I have 0 because I don't have it. This is the subject. How many of this do I have? I have 0, so I have none. H. Baird says, I think he's misunderstanding fractional reserve banking. 90% of money is just notations on a balance sheet. Maybe?
And math is the foundating laws of math is supposed to support the laws of physics. They are arm in arm. They cannot be in controversy with each other. So we need an audit on the Platonic solids. We need an audit on the square root of 2, and we need an audit on action and reaction. Or we either got to get rid of, we say 1 times 1 equals 1, and there's no action and reaction.
Logard says, I get the feeling we're going to be waiting a long time for the penny to drop for Terrence here. Hydrate.
One or the other. You can't have both. And until we make that change, we're in trouble. We're going to be stunted as a species.
Great. Should we open up to questions from the audience?
No, I don't want to talk to them. Come on.
If you have a question, raise your hand nice and high. You can ask about the physics or the acting. Terrence is happy to. Yeah, let's start with you.
Ask about the physics or the acting. Please ask about the physics. Joe Aconite, thanks for 8 months. Can you imagine if you had a class at Oxford? Does Oxford I don't know what Oxford teaches. Do they have a school of drama at all? I don't know. Imagine if your professor was like, oh, Terrence Howard is going to be talking. Go hear him talk for some credit or something. And you go and it's this. Bumble Homestead says, how much did they pay him for this? Probably nothing. I don't know. Who knows? Narnia Owl says, and let's put God on trial while we're at it. Makes about as much sense.
Thank you for coming. I just had a question about kind of acting and physics as well. Just like, I know that you said that physics was your drive and like how you are doing acting, and I just want to know like how you got academically like interested in physics itself, because I kind of feel like they're a little bit different, but I think that the bridge that you have between them are really cool.
No, well, everything is based on chemical reactions. In order for me to become a character, I have to change my chemical composition of how I'm thinking, and as a result, that changes how I position myself, which changes how the heat is generated and transferred out in and out of my body. Everything comes down to chemistry. You know, so acting and physics, in physics, when 2 things are drawn to each other, it's because they are of similar charge.
That's the opposite of true. Has he heard the phrase opposites attract? That's because when we're talking about like electromagnetism, opposite charges attract each other. The same charges repel. Nick says, I think he knows about those chemical reactions very intimately based on this talk.
It's not positive.
And, let's see. Kane Malice says, where does our money come from? That's a good question. You'd have to ask a finance person. I know it has to do with, basically the Fed, and determining how much money is going to be printed, which is based upon, basically it's worth a certain amount of, like, GDP. Like, your money's worth more if you have a lot of ability to create services and objects within your economy. It's based on, the actual wording, I think, is like faith and goodwill of the United States government when we're talking about U.S. fiat currency. You'd have to ask someone with more financial literacy than myself, but it doesn't work the way Terrence says.
Because they say negatives attract, but cold air drops down. Does it attract to the hot air rising up? No, it passes right by each other. Because negatives, opposites don't attract, it's positives that attract to each other. two positives drawn to each other, two negatives discharge each other. So it's all about physics to me. It's all about chemistry, and it's how the physics, how another actor is relating to me. A slight change in his body language changes my tone. It's all physics.
Okay, yeah. Anyone? Yeah, let's go to you.
Hey, Terrence. My name is Carrick, and I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. And so earlier you mentioned about acting, and I just had a question about the entertainment industry. Being that I'm from Atlanta, everyone swears they're a rapper or that they can rap. Even my grandma said she was dropping a gospel mixtape. So that's dropping this spring, apparently. And so I have an older brother who actually wants to get into the music industry. And it got me thinking about Hustle and Flow. It probably wasn't as gritty as Hustle and Flow was, but he's really trying to get his name out there. And so my question to you is, what advice would you have for someone who's trying to break into the entertainment industry?
Is Terrence going to try and shoehorn his pseudo-physics mathematics nonsense into this question that is entirely about acting and the entertainment industry?
Whether it be acting or music.
Prediction. I guess I could finally use this. Oh, Crystal. Orb. Show me your secrets. Will Terrence Howard use this question that has nothing to do with his conspiracies in order to further promote his pseudoscience nonsense? I sense the spirits. The answer smells like a yes.
Music. Also, I got a copy of his songs on here if you want to listen to it on the way back home.
Well, you just said it right. You said break into the business. How do you break into something?
Oh, well, enter the business if that.
No, you had it right. Because they don't want you in there. Everybody else wants that job. They're trying to keep you out. So you have to break into the business. How do you break into something? It's a little cunning involved in that. And there's a little violence involved in that. It's aggression involved in breaking into something. So there's passion involved in that. And that passion...
Did you just tell people to do violence to get into the entertainment industry? Nick says, this is not legal advice, but don't break into businesses. Agreed.
...is what's going to drive you. Wherever you're supposed to be. I can tell you, go over to, to 5th and Dunbar, and it's going to happen for you over there. It's not going to happen there. It's going to happen for you when you actively work in concert with your desires. So you want to be an actor? You don't go to Saudi Arabia. You got to go to LA or New York in the States, and you do your time there. And my thing is, I have no toleration for rivalry whatsoever.
Tolerance?
It's not black eyes and bloody noses for me. It's life or death when I'm in that ring. And that ring is the set and the stage for me. So I'm coming in there to dismantle you. I'm coming in there to take away any falsehood that you have, that you were carrying yourself with. I want to shake that up with truth, and to where you don't even know your lines afterwards, that you're just sitting there. So if you can't come in ready for life or death, you think it's a black eye or bloody nose, you will lose your life in that game. You go in there and you destroy them, and you break into the business however you have to.
He didn't bring up the physics thing. Your smell lied to me, Orb. Rachology says Oxford University has 39 colleges, and it's considered the center of hard science research in the UK, which is partially true, but also because they're massive snobs there. They look down at Cambridge University because it's too young and punky. Cambridge was founded in the 13th century. This is a very normal country. That's funny. How many people has Terrence Minecrafted? I couldn't tell you. And now I don't trust the orb because it smells lied.
Yeah.
This is true, Baha. The orb needs to learn to communicate with me. It's a new orb relationship.
Let's go to you in the classes. Yeah, you. Yeah. You stand up.
So my question is, when you go to play parts or decide on what exactly you want to play in a movie.
Your orb smells? What? Yours doesn't.
Or a series, do you look for specific...
How do the spirits communicate with you if not through the olfactory senses, sir? Do you know nothing of the dark arts?
Things in a character that you're going to portray, or do you just immerse yourself into the character and see how it goes from there?
Yeah, I don't do all that little tricky stuff about, oh, I'm gonna go and this character reads this or any of that stuff. You know me, I sit there and I try and look for what resonates with the character. Ooh, you suck. I hate that.
I'll get the other one.
It's if the truth is in the character, if the character is written well.
This is hard to watch, listen to. Yeah, he's kind of off the deep end.
You don't have to do anything. All you do is have to sit there and say the words. And somehow in the words, just little bells, like playing Candy Crush, little things just pop up out of nowhere and you're just doing it and you get lost in it. If you allow yourself, it's just a river, man. You know, get naked and ride in it and jump out when you get cold. But don't be afraid of the rapids, don't be afraid of the rocks. You know, jump out of the airplane and say, to hell with it, you know?
Great, thank you for that question. Yeah.
What's Cameron Thayer discussing? I don't get the joke.
Let's go to you in the red jumper.
Thank you for coming. I wanted to ask a question. You seem to be sitting on a wealth of knowledge and something that you've been working on for, how you put it, 40 years. I was going to ask, how are you living day-to-day life knowing that the rest of the world is doing it, quote-unquote, incorrectly?
Well, it's been 40 years of me dancing on this thing.
This is probably the last question we're going to listen to, and then we're going to move on, just because now it's just Q&A stuff, and we've been here long enough to listen to Terrence. We have other people to look at, too.
40 years, I was told I was wrong.
Yep.
For 40 years, I was told that, the platonic solids and all those were the solids.
Sometimes there are great, brilliant breakthroughs that, get told no time and time again until finally you prove the naysayers right and you break through and you change an entire field, right? More often, though, you're just genuinely wrong, and, this is that case, Terrence. You're just wrong about this. Please stop. You're wasting so much time.
You have to have faith in self. All of this, I can sit up here and tell you guys that, I'm the smartest man in the world. I figured out what Da Vinci and none of them could do. The truth is, you really want to know the truth?
Yes.
This may be crazier than the fiction. The truth is, I woke up inside my mother's womb at about 6 months of age. I woke up inside of there.
What? That's literally not how brain development works. Bittergrin says, I used to feel bad about him being removed from the MCU. Terrence! It's literally not possible.
Like, boom. I don't know what had happened. Maybe my mother went through some trauma or whatever. But I woke up and I was like, oh, God, I'm here. I'm here. Don't forget. This is truth. Don't forget. Just go by. Every once in a while, I would think about something, and this would come over. And I didn't know it was my hand. I thought it was a friend. I had my whole name for it. Inside that womb, you were conscious. You woke up, because with our son Kieran, when my wife was 6 months pregnant, we would put the light on her stomach, and he would follow it and push on it. And then we'd put the music, and we'd put it all the way over to the other side, and he would crawl all the way over to the other side of the stomach and push.
Sensory response is a different thing than consciousness, than having an internal monologue of any sort. Even abstract internal monologue. Tucker White says, am I just a stupid dumbass, or is Terrence Howard spouting pretentious nothings? You're correct. You are correct.
At the light with the music. So what I'm saying to you, you are conscious. inside the womb, but we have no common frame of reference. But I remembered, don't forget, because I knew I'd been here. Don't forget. And you know what I didn't want to forget? This flower of life. Because
he brought it back.
I'd been
Full
interested
circle.
in it at a given time. And I came out and I was born. The first thing I thought about when I was 5 years old, I was obsessed with bubbles. I was like, why does a bubble take the shape of a ball? Why not a square or a triangle? And I would go and try and make
surface tension, I think? Someone correct me. I don't know physics.
Square or triangular bubbles. And you could never do it because it turns out everything expands as a sphere and everything contracts in geometric form. You drop a pebble into the pond, it expands in a perfect sphere unless there's something in the way. The moment it hits the edge of the shore and starts to come back, it's the contracting waves that hit the expanding waves that creates the initial geometries. Everything expands as a sphere, everything contracts in geometry and fits, basically. So what I'm saying, and what I tried to tell you guys earlier, this is not your first time, it's not your first rodeo, and it won't be your last rodeo. Don't panic in this life. You can actually, there's no sense of death. Everything goes to sleep and it wakes back up again. Refolds and unfolds, refolds.
No, that's not how things work, Terrence. People die.
And unfolds, and if you're
surface tension is correct. Sphere is the lowest energy state. Rad. I love when I'm right accidentally.
If you're wise, if you're careful, because you can remember conscious.
It makes me seem much smarter than I actually am, which is the goal.
Moments in your life, can't you? You can remember moments when you're like, wait a minute, I'm in a bigger space than just this little body right here. You become fully aware of everything around you. And if you quiet yourself, you can think about those things. Well, apparently I did that at the last passage because when I came into this life, I woke up, remember, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. And the first thing I did was worked out the flower of life. When I was 6 years old, I started making these pieces. What Da Vinci tried to do at 80, I did at 6 years old because I had been working on it perhaps from a past life. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm crazy or there's reincarnation or anything, but we know that energy does not die.
Now, I'm not saying I'm crazy, but I've been working on this math problem since I was 6 years old, and I've cracked what Da Vinci couldn't, okay? Not crazy.
Boots itself. So we are.
Why do trans girls love pickles so much? Salty. Spiro is a pill that a lot of trans women take, like myself, and it makes you crave salt. Pickles are very salty and have no calories, so.
Eternal, so stop panicking, thinking your life is over. You've done this trillions
Do I want some pickles now? Sure.
of times. You'll get good at it and we'll be perfect one time.
Do you want to actually bring me, like, a plate and that Michigan Jack cheese, too, so I can try it? And maybe the bag of pretzels? I won't have a lot. I'll just have a little of each.
If we get conscious, but we have to get conscious. Because I can either say I'm the smartest man in the world, that I figured out what nobody else in the world could figure out. With Aristotle, with Plato, Pythagoras, all of them tried to figure this out, but I know I am not smarter than these men.
Kinda seems like you think you are. Blackwing Hecate says, I stopped taking Spiro, switched to bicalamide. Can you explain why to me? I'm just curious what the difference is.
So I know that there's something to the consciousness of carrying things through, because the information and the knowledge that I have, I didn't go to school. I had a 1.6 grade point average graduating from high school.
That explains a lot, if I'm being honest about this whole conversation.
Because I had other things to do. But this information...
It was just because he had other things to do. It wasn't a lack of understanding of the material.
Kind of educated me along the way because I was born into it. And now I have the pieces to follow it, and hopefully Chris and maybe Oxford and will do some of the vetting for these things.
I have not had Tillamook cheese.
And we can change the world. But if not, I'll keep doing it, and I'll do it in the next lifetime. If not this one, and the next lifetime after that. Just remember, and another thing, don't forget, you know, you go from positive to negative, everything polarizes positive to negative, then more than likely, with each lifetime, male to female, male to female, if the universe is consistent.
The universe fucked up on this one for me, I'm gonna be honest. Blackwing Hecate says Spear has some negative side effects that I wanted to avoid, for example, suppressing breast growth to some extent and exacerbating gout. Gotcha.
I think it is.
Great. Thank you for that question. Yeah, let's go to you.
I want to at least hear what the next question is, and if it's not about the physics stuff, we'll move on.
Thank you very much for talking to us. And also, your view on consciousness and energy sounds very similar to what Dr. Robert Lanza proposes in Biocentrism. So that may be of interest to you if you haven't read that text. But about 5 years ago, you spoke about harmonic wave sequencing and how that could
harmonic wave resequencing.
Resequencing.
Rachology says another fun Oxford Uni fact: teaching there began in 1096, with the university founded soon after. Women were fully integrated into the college in 1974. Nick says he had a rough and abusive childhood, though, so those may have been the things that he was dealing with. His dad was a murderer. I did not know that, and now I feel bad.
And how that could possibly solve cancer or genetic...
Okay, I think we've had enough of a taste of Terrence. He's, interesting guy. Let's put it that way. How about Wings of Redemption? Just a quick rage compilation. Wings of Redemption is, an early streamer, like pre-Twitch days, pre-common capture card days. Literally, I believe he started by filming his TV. So let's take a look at some of his freakouts. He's known for not having a great time when he doesn't do good in his games and stuff like that. Thank you. It is a nice hat.
I'm not interested in anything, dude. I turned the only interest I had in life into my job. I don't know what to fucking do.
Blackwing Hecate says, chew? Question mark? It hasn't been long enough since the last hype train to start another one. There's a 2-hour cooldown between them that I have set. Yeah, this is Wings. It seems like if you're gonna do competitive gaming for a living, and even just like not professionally, like at a tournament, but like online on streams like this, seems like it would behoove you to learn to be a sportsman-like winner and loser. Like, it's okay to lose. You're not gonna win every game. That's fine. The only time, I'll tell you the only time I ever got like this and actually threw a controller, it was one time in my entire life, and it was during the blooper race in Super Mario Sunshine. And if you have played the original GameCube version of the blooper race in Super Mario Sunshine, you will know exactly why. Bumble Homestead, hats off. What would you like me to wear? I'm sure I screamed. Can we have a flower crown on the witch hat? Sure. I just gotta find the flower crown. It's around here somewhere.
Motherfucking hardest.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
I gotta find the flower crown.
Can I crack that?
Found it.
Fucking crack my monitor.
Why is Wings on? We're watching him freak out about things.
Rip 4K monitor.
He broke his 4K Jesus Christ, what a baby. Wings is banned from Twitch? Okay. Well, I guess we can't watch his freak out then. I think Darkside Phil isn't. He was at one point, but I checked, and Darkside Phil still has a Twitch channel, so we could watch a freak out from him.
Took a turn I didn't expect. Alright, you did save, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, that is it for tonight's Psychonauts 2 stream. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. We made good progress, right? We did that entire chef plot line, and then we went and bought a bunch of upgrades. So now we're decked out and ready to go for the rest of the game. What we're going to be doing is actually the bowling alley. I think you talked to, what's his name there? You probably go inside his mind, fix that part of his mind. And then
I haven't played Psychonauts 2. I like the first one, though. Sky Comet Fallen says, I look forward to seeing him play Getting Over It, the epic rage game that did this to mild-mannered Markiplier.
Oh my god! I'm done! Oh god! Fuck! Oh my god!
And Anti-Pretzel says, the issue with Wings is he rages too hard and expects camping to work even though the modern COD player is likely a kid coked up on Mountain Dew that won't stay still. Thank you! Oh, you did like a whole shoterie board. Charcuterie! Why do I always do that?
I don't know.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let the people know what you have.
Let's see, chat. We have some crackers, some garlic pickles, pretzels, garlic pita chips, some Asiago, some Michigan Jack cheese. It looks delicioso. Logarth says, I know we're having a chill stream, but apparently about 2 hours ago, Belarus decided it's been a good time to rebel against their Russian government and have launched strikes against military targets in Belarus with about 30 fighter jets. Oh my god. Wild times.
What happened?
I'll read it again. About 2 hours ago, Belarus decided it'd be a good time to rebel against the Russian government and have launched strikes against military targets in Belarus with 30 fighter jets.
Oh.
That cheese is pretty good.
It smells decent.
I don't know how to do the mailroom thing yet. We never found that guy out in the, we never found Adam Metalis out yet.
It's not as
Maybe
extreme as like a super sharp cheddar, but it's still got like a tang.
But we didn't find him yet. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed Psychonauts 2 tonight. Oh. Good timing to switch batteries, huh? Hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. Until next time, which is later on this week, okay? Awesome. Thank you. Alright, everybody. Well, it is what it is. I enjoyed tonight's stream, and I hope that you guys did too. Alright, thank you to everyone who did contribute. Actually, super chats were pretty decent. We made like $50 of super chats tonight, which isn't bad at all. Thanks to those who did become members. We did have a few new members tonight. Thank you to those who did tip. Tips were pretty low, I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is.
I have like no respect for streamers. Hold on. I have no respect for streamers that complain about not getting enough tips or money or whatever. Like, that is so frustrating to me. When someone like this is like, the tips were pretty low tonight. If you're gonna do streaming for a living, you know this. You are living off of the goodwill of others who are, if they like your stream enough, maybe they'll throw you a couple bucks every now and again. And that's awesome when they do. But if they don't, you can't blame people. That's life. It's so ridiculous to take for granted the fact that anyone ever gives you money just for sitting and talking in front of a camera. Makes you look like the biggest douchebag ever. It's ridiculous.
All right, and thank you for a great streaming week. I did have a good streaming week this week. We finished up Fallout earlier, which was outstanding. So here's the deal. I'm not here tomorrow. All right. Hope you all have a good day tomorrow, and I hope that you're safe, and I hope that you have an enjoyable day away from my streams. I will return on Wednesday.
I fixed it.
And on Wednesday, it will be the conclusion of the Ghost of Tsushima DLC paired with Hades. All right? There'll be more Psychonauts 2 on Thursday, and that'll also be paired with Hades. Friday, I'm actually going to be playing a new game called Tormented Souls, which is a throwback survival horror game. I'll be playing Friday during the day. Friday night will be Street Fighter. All right? Sadly, guys, we didn't hit the goal, man. I don't know what to tell you. Sucks. We definitely could have done it today. We could have hit 250 today. I don't know why people wouldn't become members. I don't know what to tell you. People are telling me, oh, well, the problem...
Maybe because you bitch like this. Just shut the fuck up and play the game.
...is on YouTube, you know, you...
Baha, I was told to tell you your dress is nice.
Oh, thank you.
You can't bring your emotes to other channels and stuff. Okay, that's great and all, but I...
She says thank you.
Can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't create how this stuff works on YouTube, all right? The point is that if you want to support the channel, right? If you want to support the channel, you become a member to help out so we can do a fun marathon on Saturday. It wasn't about, oh, I have to get some kind of particular benefit from becoming the membership that I used to get on Twitch. I don't get it here. That wasn't the point. You know what I'm saying? Also, the memberships here are cheaper, too. So, I don't know, man. What I'm hoping, like I told you guys a bunch, is that once new games start to come out, that we will convince more people to become members. Because it seems like right now we're basically stagnating. You know, we're at around between 200 to 250, and we're just kind of sitting here for 2 months, and it's not moving.
I guess you need to do better then.
That sucks, because as you guys know...
You're doing something wrong. It's not your audience's responsibility to give you money. It's so weird, the entitlement. It makes me mad.
I am trying to get back to...
Can I play Razor Fist? Has he done anything lately that's interesting? Because I think his Twitter or Twitch channel got reinstated, so I can watch him on Twitch again.
Where I was, on Twitch, and it seems like it's not possible, but it seems like it's because of the limitations of YouTube, not me. I'm doing the same stuff. You guys are telling me that the streams are entertaining and fun, but you're telling me that you're not getting the same benefits you used to get when you used to subscribe on Twitch. I understand that. I don't control that, you know.
You did a video on gas prices. Maybe Chud Watch. I don't really want to do that today.
I wish I could. I wish I could give you guys a bunch of extra benefits. I don't make the site work. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not sure what else to do, you know. Hopefully, what'll happen is when these new releases start coming out, more people will come to the streams to support. I don't know what else to do. You know, I didn't want to leave Twitch. I didn't want to be kicked out of the partner program and not be able to get subs anymore. Guys, that's the inevitability we're in now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to, oh, I don't get the benefits here that I did on Twitch. That's great, but do you still like my content? Do you still like my streams? Do you like it when I play games and interact with you guys? Okay, then to become a member. I understand you're not getting the same benefits here that you were getting over there. I can't do anything about that. I don't code YouTube, you know what I mean? And I understand, oh, well, I'll get better value on Twitch. Okay, so you're telling me then you don't want me to keep doing this.
Okay, maybe they don't care enough. Who cares? Rachology says, I'm not getting many bits for this top content.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were 900 members on Twitch, there's only 220-some, 230 members here, right? Oh, well, I don't get the same benefit that I got over there. Okay, but I still need the support to keep going. You understand? I understand. Oh, I was actually getting the emotes or whatever on other channels. Okay, great. That's not on YouTube, and I'm sorry. I wish I could make YouTube do the same stuff that Twitch did. YouTube is very different from Twitch. We know that, okay? Twitch mistreated me. Twitch did something to discipline me when I never did anything wrong, presented no evidence that I did that thing wrong. So why are we going to cry over spilled milk at Twitch and say, oh no, we lost the ability to do this on Twitch? If you like me and my content, support it, okay? support it. A membership is $4. It's cheaper here than it was over on Twitch. Okay? And to be told something...
Replicant with 1,000 bits says you should try Ghetto ASMR Rage compilation. Oh god. Okay. Hold on, I'm copy pasting. Thanks.
Like, oh, we don't get the same benefits. Okay, I get that, but that's not the point of the membership. I'm serious, like, that was never the point. The point was to support the channel, to let me keep doing what I love. You guys tell me you love it, and you know what I mean? But what happened with memberships, you know? I'll be honest, an entire month with no membership growth is terrible. Just being...
Then maybe do better streams! You're not doing enough to get a new audience. Like, that's not their fault. He's not banned on Twitch. He still has a Twitch channel. I just think he got demonetized on Twitch, like he isn't a partner.
It is. That's a bad sign. Now, this month, I knew things would be slow, because there was almost no new releases. Games like Psychonauts 2 in 12 minutes. There's not going to bring people to come see those. Take a look at what happened just a few months ago with a big release like Resident Evil, where the views were sky high. Just last night, I played, or was it 2 nights ago? 2 nights ago, I played the Call of Duty Vanguard beta, or excuse me, alpha, and the views were really good. So it really is game dependent. I know that. It really is game dependent.
Alright, I'm sick of listening to this guy bitch. Seriously. He's just whining about his audience not giving him enough money. Ass. Hold on, I got it. No, I think she's done vacuuming. Okay, I'm gonna close the door. Sorry, I don't know if you guys could hear the vacuum noise, but she's vacuuming downstairs. Yeah, who's this guy? Someone told me to watch him. Racheology says, say what you want about Magic Ring incest guy, but he's not whiny. True?
I think my thumbnails are solid. That's not what I'm asking, little man. My #1 videos were the same thumbnails, little bitch. I'm toxic.
This is a little quiet.
You're the toxic one with the little dick, yo, and you want to suck my dick anyways. Adios. So the fuck.
This guy isn't banned on Twitch, is he? I guess I should look. Sorry, I'm munching. That's not him. He doesn't do Twitch? Okay.
Fuck up. You're a little toxic piece of shit. You're jealous and you wish you were sucking my dick. So shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of here. You want to support what I'm doing? Drop a super chat. I could beat you up in 1 little fucking second, you little bitch. You know, you want to be dominated? Shut the fuck up. You're nothing to me. I'm fucking everything you wish you were. Shut the fuck up, you little loser. You want to talk that shit? Fuck you. If you're in here and you're digging what I'm doing, drop a super chat, thumbs up. But nah, not like that. Nah. That's exactly what they are, though. Those people who are being fucking, you know, like that. That's not what they're here for. I don't have an OnlyFans account. I'm here to make ASMR and hold it down. If you want to be here talking shit, like, this is the fastest tapping tingles in the game, dude. Fuck those people who are hating on us, guys. Fuck those people. We got no time for them. Unless you want to be one of them, we got no time for people. Quiet down. Yeah, exotics. Okay.
Is this literally just ASMR of him berating people? That's kind of funny. Time cube. Time cube.
On tonight's show, the wisest man who ever lived, dueling cam girls and gay hobbits. This is Unscrewed. Speaking of the show, tonight's show, man, it's a perfect 9. If you've spent any amount of time on the internet...
And this is very late 90s, early 2000s, whenever this was.
You've probably stumbled across timecube.com. This is a site that explains that there are 4 different simultaneous 24-hour days within a single rotation of Earth. Not 1, which means I've been missing out on 3 happy hours a day, I suppose. Welcome back. Christopher Columbus said the Earth was round, not flat. People laughed. Well, Columbus had nothing on our next guest. He says there are 4 different simultaneous 24-hour days within a single rotation of Earth. It's called the time cube principle, and if you laugh at it, you're stupid, evil, and deserve to be spit on publicly. From Atlanta, here to explain the time cube, its discoverer and champion, and the self-proclaimed wisest man who ever lived, Gene Ray. Welcome to the show, Gene.
Thank you, Martin.
So, Gene, you say that I'm stupid because I believe that when the Earth rotates once, there is only one 24-hour day, but your time cube principle disputes this, no?
Right. It has 4 corners. When it shines at midday, it simultaneously creates a midnight. Where the 2 majors join, it creates the 2 minors of sun up and sundown. And each corner quadrant of Earth rotates to its own separate 24-hour days.
Well, the Earth is a sphere, though. It's not a cube.
It's composed of 4...
Basically, I think Gene Ray's issue, he's diagnosed with schizophrenia, to be clear, so it's that. But, like, the concept itself, what he's missing, I think he's thinking of time zones. I think he thinks he invented time zones, basically. Clava Faustna, thanks for 13 months, says, Hannah, ooh. Radiology says, why are we shouting? I don't know.
4 quadrant corners. Each corner, because it rotates in 4 different directions simultaneously. Toward midday, midnight, sun up and sundown. It rotates those directions simultaneously. Each one of them has its own separate day.
Gene, how do you know this? What's your proof, scientifically speaking?
Well, here's in the cube. You can see it. You can't deny that. I offer any academic institution, any professor, $10,000 to disprove it. They can't disprove it, so they ignore it and run and hide.
You're offering $10,000 to anyone who can dispute the time cube principle?
Institution or professor.
Not me. If I beat you in a debate right now, you're not going to pay me $10,000?
$1,000.
$1,000 for me? That's all right. I got to have my own model of the time cube right here. Where'd you get these things? Like Magic Mountain?
Well, they're paperweights. You can buy them.
Yeah, I know he died.
They're just paperweights, but they represent the time cube.
But this cube, this has 6 sides. The cube has 6 sides. You say there's 4 separate days. That doesn't make sense.
How can you call a top and bottom a side? You call the top of your bedroom and bottom of your floor sides? That's dumb.
That makes a lot of
geometrically, they are sides of the cube, though.
sense.
Now, everything, the solar system has a top and bottom, front and back and 2 sides. Earth has a top and bottom, front and back and 2 sides. The human has a top and bottom, front and back and 2 sides. Now, the human head has 4 corners, nose, 2 ears, and a back corner, but they don't have the 1 corner face. It's only 1/4 of who they think they are. 1 corner, but they go around the 4 corners in a lifetime. The baby, the child, the parent, and the grandparent.
Radiology says, Notch at home watching this. A square world, you say. Also, he hates trans people.
We don't recognize human metamorphosis.
Gotcha. You know, I can't help notice that you're wearing a hat that says Time Cube from MIT 2002. Are you a professor at MIT? Did you teach this at MIT? What's the story?
No, I lectured up there last year. It was a student thing. They had about 500 students from MIT, Harvard, and many other universities around there. And they treated me like Einstein now, but the school was not sponsored. I had $5 cash offered. Any professor would come down and explain the time cube and disprove it. But they run and hide. Academia cannot allow this to be known because it contradicts everything that they're teaching.
Really? I mean, do you think that this should be taught in schools from kindergarten on up through the graduate departments?
It's the only principle that'll save humans from self-destruction, like Easter Island. They went in, cut the trees down, ate the animals, the chickens, the rats, and then they started practicing cannibalism. The U.S. is on the same path. It's just a larger island.
So if we don't start believing in the time cube principle, we're going to resort to cannibalism?
That's right, because this is perpetual. Einstein said time was linear. Actually, that's not true. It's cubic. If you stand at the point midday, that same point is somebody else's sundown, somebody else's midnight, and somebody else's sunup.
Yeah, time zones.
Get this. It's very clear to me, but what do you feel about people who say that you're nuts, that don't believe in the time cube principle?
Well, like I say, they're stupid. And in fact, that's evil. Being stupid about it is evil.
So you think the majority of humanity is stupid?
They're educated, Steve. That's what they're taught.
He's dead.
The self is the lowest form of humanity. It cannot procreate alone. And the family is the creation body, but not the true body because it doesn't marry. It's the village that's the true body because it has multi-families with a near equal number of both sexes of all ages. But we destroyed all villages. We have communities that are really of strangers and who have no allegiance or obligation to anything or anybody.
Hey, Ray, Gene, how do you feel about being an internet celebrity? I mean, you're huge on the web.
Well, it's not a position I wanted. It's something I had to do.
Yeah.
And nobody, like, I'm not a writer or speaker, but no writer or speaker understands the time cube.
All right. Hey, Gene, thanks so much, and good luck with your quest to convince humanity of the time cube principle.
Thank you.
All right. That's Gene Ray offering up wisdom for the ages. For more information on his time cube theory, visit our site, techtv.com/unscrewed.
All right. It's probably, well... Nah, we'll do Skippy first. So Skippy, we watched the other day. Interesting fella. Not so good with the ladies, and by not so good, I mean he basically harasses women, is very uncomfortable, has no social awareness, kind of awkwardly nice guys himself into dates. Very awkward. So the other day we watched him, let's say, steal a kiss, which is a nice way of putting it, from a woman named, I believe, Deanna. This is the date they went on prior to that. So let's find out how they got to that Klondike bar moment, shall we?
Step one when getting ready for a date, clean out the car. I deliver pizzas in it, so I've got to make sure that it's clean and free of pizza smell.
Okay, so I'm Skippy. If you're watching this, I would think you know that. This is my date. Her name is Deanna.
Hello.
Deanna, I'm going to hand you the
Am I
camera.
going this way?
And we're going...
Does it matter which way?
No, just so that it shows... And if you want it to be mostly you, I'm totally good with that. Just so that you record, I will start to drive. And we can...
Cleared out the evidence from the last date.
Always edit...
He has a kill room for that. He's not an amateur.
Through this, so that it seems natural and normal.
All right.
Let's first start.
Tell me when to stop.
That's a little bit of self-awareness that he knows he needs to edit the videos to make him seem natural and normal. H-Baird says, forget Skippy, let's watch GIF date. Peanut butter humor. I get it.
Go, what's that?
Just tell me when to stop.
Okay. For starters, let's go with how did we meet?
This is a good story.
Yes.
It's juicy.
Juicy? Okay.
I don't really remember.
I don't really remember.
I
exactly
have no
either.
idea.
Like, when I told my mom that I was going on a date, she goes, oh, how'd you meet her? And I said, through singles stuff? Really?
Let's make up a story. I think we were at Utah Lake.
That's what it was.
It's funny, too, because when you watch Skippy on dates, usually the women are honestly trying really hard. You know, they're engaging socially and trying to have a good time. And Skippy is just so awkward, he ruins it. He entirely ruins it by being a creep, by being pushy, by being constantly self-deprecating, and not even in like a funny way, just like, oh god, I hate myself, I'm terrible, blah, 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 blah. You know, things no one wants to hear on a date when they're trying to have a good time.
Swimming.
Is this how I made Baja fall for me? No, I'm charming, so... I was just a normal human being, and that worked out.
Yeah, because I'm known to go...
Do I think being a Mormon is part of why he's like this? It wouldn't surprise me. Tube Man says, if I go on a date and the first thing my date says is, can you help me record a vlog? I'm leaving immediately. Yeah, good call. Baja says, LMAO, yeah, charming. Do you see the ring? Do you see the ring? Charming.
Go places and take off my shirt.
Well,
around
I was
girls.
swimming.
Yeah, you were swimming.
You were.
I was there
on the shore.
Yeah, I was probably with
and
some friends.
I went out a little too far.
Yeah.
So I couldn't stand.
True.
Because it's Utah Lake. And
she's the perfect person
there
to
was
take
a
on
shark
a date
attack.
like yes. Yeah, in Utah
Shark attack?
Lake.
Well, I saw a fin.
Yeah.
And I got scared and I didn't know what to
Greg
do.
Norman. Do you get that joke? Do you even get that joke? Greg Norman is the golfer who's called the Shark. Anyways.
Oh, God. Skippy, you can't start cracking out the bad references that no one gets until the third date. Everyone knows that.
Doing
Typical
what
saving
he
stuff.
does.
Typical saving stuff.
Didn't
yeah.
even think about it. Can you ask the sun to move?
Yeah.
It's shining on your face here.
Oh, it's okay. I think of the two of us, you're the one that people would want to see. Let's go with a couple fast facts about you. You are
Fast
from
facts.
Utah?
No.
Where are you from again?
Well,
California.
Yeah.
Please give out private information to my audience that I am asking you without making sure it's okay first.
California. That's right.
Pretty much from Utah. I've lived here for a while.
We all know Baja's with you because of the sweet hats. That's true. It is a hat-related marriage of convenience. That is a joke. We love each other very much.
How long have you lived here? What brought you to Utah?
My family moved here.
When did they move here?
I was 13.
Did you go to Orm High?
Yes, I did.
Go Tigers.
Tigers.
There's a good. Do you care if I ask you what year you graduated? Or a lady never tells her age. Never mind. You have how many siblings?
3 brothers.
3 brothers. I have 1 older brother. Fast fact number 3, you drive.
I wonder if his older brother is more normal. I tried to think of a better word. I wonder if his brother is more... I wonder if his brother is better socially adjusted. That's a better way of putting it.
Right, but what kind of car? And what's its name?
Mazda CX-3. Don't stalk me.
And do you have a name for
She doxed her car.
your car?
Rachology says, apropos of nothing, WikiHow, how to escape from the trunk of a car. Isn't it that you, like, gotta punch a hole, like, in the rear view, or in the rear, I've seen things where they have you, like, punch a hole in the rear, tail light. That's what it is. Redundant. Rear tail light. That might be outdated information, though.
So I put it out and asked the public to help me.
The public, Facebook,
my
Twitter?
friends. Yeah. Maybe Instagram.
Okay.
Give me a follow.
Do you get a sense that it's a boy or a girl? I think most Mazdas are boys.
Yeah, none of the ideas were good.
Yeah.
So nameless. Shout out a name. The color is titanium flash.
See, what was the...
And it's a Mazda 6, or what is it? CX-3.
What was the street you grew up on?
Renown Drive.
Why is he asking? It's like he's like a telephone scammer trying to get her security questions.
Okay, and then like...
Stop stalking me. Wait, are you getting credit card information?
No, it was,
are you trying to break into my credit card? These are those questions they ask you.
These are things I always ask on a date, obviously. What kind of car do you drive? What street did you grow up on? This is all information that needs to be known immediately.
Porn star name
I just made that up.
What is your porn star name? The street that you grew up on and...
Don't do the porn... What is this, middle school? You're gonna do the porn star name thing?
What is it? Like, yeah, you're right.
Favorite color? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask me my mom's maiden name next?
Should we... You know what? We should put down the phone and look up the... do you know who Childish Gambino is?
Why does that sound familiar?
He's a musician. He's an actor named Donald Glover, but he goes by...
Good job, captions. That's not Donald Glover's name.
His rap name is Childish Gambino. The way he got his rap name was he went to the Wu-Tang Clan name generator. I think if you Google Wu-Tang generator, put in, and that's what I'm saying, like, we put down the We put down the phone. We look up on. Or you've got your phone. Do you have your phone?
We're doing it right now. Pause.
Yeah. Let's pause this and look up our Wu-Tang name.
Okay, what do I go to?
Well, now I want to do this. Wu-Tang name generator. I'll put Hannah Reloaded because I don't want to dox myself. Hannah Reloaded. Where did it go? It did, oh, might be because of pop-up blocker. Hold on. Why didn't it work? There we go. Authority Tall. All right. Baja Blast. Leopard Quiet. Do Peter Hannah. All right, last one. Peter Hannah. His name does not have an H at the end, for the record. Peter's name is Lord Mad. All right. Yeah, that tracks.
Okay, so
really pause
Can we just start calling Peter Lord Mad and never explaining it to anyone who wasn't here for this stream? Hydrate.
Sure.
We had a little bit of trouble getting back to the phone. Our answer is, or my answer is ancient weaponry.
Ancient weaponry. And before that, before putting in your last name, it was an ancient dragon.
Just my first name, Ancient Dragon. But with my first and last is
Childish
Ancient
Gambino is such
weaponry.
a cool name, but...
Guess I'm not cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. Should we go back and have you put in Donald Glover and see if it puts in, if it kicks out Childish Gambino?
That's like the least interesting thing you could do with that, Skippy. He even has, like, little jumping. Like, clearly he thought in his head, which is not something I do, because I'm a normal human being. But, like, I think he thought to himself, what are conversation starters I could use on this date? So he decided to go like, yes, I know about Childish Gambino and that name generator, so we'll use that to generate conversation. The most boring thing you could do in that scenario is to retype in Donald Glover's name to see if it's still Childish Gambino.
We're doing it right now. Pausing. We're back.
So we put in Donald Glover, and it came up with, 67, or what was the one for?
60-second...
Weaponry, right?
I don't know, something.
And then...
Not Childish Gambino.
Yeah, not Childish Gambino. We put in mine.
Her enthusiasm for the date is waning already, and they're still on the car ride to the place.
And it came up with what?
60-second Jesus?
Like, as in 61 before.
60 second. Like seconds, like...
Or 60-second long?
Yeah.
Was it 62 ND or...
No, 60.
The number 60.
Second.
And then seconds, like a unit of time.
Jesus. Maybe it's Jesus. No, fast fact number 4. I'm really terrible at like that game where you put, there's a bunch of jelly beans in a jar.
Oh, okay.
You have to
Guessing,
guess how many.
Do you know anyone that's really good? I mean, aside from a person that guesses it right one time,
I either guess like 27 or like 97 million.
I see what
I'm
you're saying.
not close at all.
You're always off.
Always.
You're always like, let's
I feel like and again, I'm not like the most charming person in the world, but like he doesn't know how to have a conversation like a normal person. He's so stiff, and it's like he's nervous, and I get being nervous on a first date to an extent. Not helpful, but I get it. People have automatic reactions, but he has no like, there's no back and forth. There's no like, there's no chemistry. You know what I mean to their banter. Sky Come Up Fallen says, this is that terrible date everyone that is doing online dating has experienced.
say what it is we're gonna go do right now.
We're going to a show.
We are going to a comedy show.
Comedy show. We're
Yeah.
gonna laugh.
It's improv.
Let's just practice.
It's
Maybe it's the camera making him nervous. Well, he should stop filming all his dates then.
Let's improv a laugh.
One of the people that will be performing tonight. And
Eddie Murphy.
I sent Eddie Murphy is going to Joel Murray.
Oprah Winfrey.
You would know him from Mad Men. My personal favorite thing that he's been in was his first movie credit, One Crazy Summer, with John Cusack and Bobcat Goldthwait. Do you remember that movie? It's an 80s movie.
I don't even remember that movie, and I own like 600 something movies. What movie is that, Skippy? You can't start bringing up generic obscure movie trivia about Eddie Murphy is not going to start an interesting conversation.
No.
Oh, do yourself a favor.
Describe the way he looks.
He looks like he could be my brother, if only with darker hair.
So he has black hair?
Yeah. And I say only
Is
that
this
he could be my
Skippy, and is
brother
he a
that,
Mormon? Yes and yes.
He's not like a skinny mini. Of the people that will be on stage, you've got a really tall guy named
Zarek, what would you like me to do for hats off? Not the professor hat.
Ryan Stiles, who's probably the best comedy improviser in the world. You're going to have Greg Proops, who is a...
Jadora. Okay. That makes sense for this video, I guess. Vortigaunt, thanks for 7 months, says 2 more months till the baby comes.
Genius. Just literally, he's a genius. I think he's a member of Mensa, I mean, that kind of stuff.
Mensa.
Jeff B. Davis, who is the young, good-looking one of the group.
That
If
screwed
you
up
ever
my
saw
bangs
Whose Line
real
Is It
bad.
Anyways, it's those guys. Joel wasn't on the show back then, right? He performs a lot with them now. In fact, he tours with them as the group. Joel's an incredible improviser.
Is he talking about the crew from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I like Whose Line Is It Anyway, but again, no one wants to hear your monologue about the troop makeup of the Whose Line Is It Anyway cast. This is so weird.
He does comedy and drama, but so we became friends. Hey, you're gonna be in town.
Read the room. Read the room.
Worst you could say is no. Can I get on the guest list? And so he threw us on the guest list. And so I had to, you can always go one of two ways. Either take a friend or try and get a date. I got both. And he said, yeah, after the show, wait near the front of the stage and I'll come out afterwards. And so I've got some fun gifts for them, but they're all
It's so
getting...
interesting, the enthusiasm level she began the date with and where she is now. She tried. She genuinely was trying to give him a chance.
Skippy
and he
brake
bombed
whistle,
it.
A no sex for you bracelet, Skippy stickers.
I don't even have these things.
You do.
So this
You don't?
Yeah, he has stickers of himself that he gives to people. He's trying to make fetch happen so badly. He wants to be a meme. It's sad.
It's a good gift.
I didn't give you.
This is a good gift.
Sure. By the way, you've got a gift coming at the end of the night, and you kind of know
Don't
what
tease.
part of it
I
is.
love gifts.
And you kind of know what part of it is already if you were to think about conversations we've had over the last 6 months. But yeah.
I'm never gonna make that face again. Did you see that?
Was that your first time
I was
ever
like-
making that face?
First time looking at me making it, I was just like, oh, huh.
Okay.
I can't do it again, but I shouldn't.
I think the one of the parts of the gift is the Klondike bar we already saw the clip of the other day.
Let's see. What do you want to be when you grow up?
What do you want to... She's a... Skippy! She's an adult! What?
Happy? All of a sudden I sound like
everybody.
a...
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Baby blue.
Baby blue.
Oh my gosh, we have so much in common. Okay, ready? In
What
three.
are the
On the
chances?
count of 3, say your favorite food. 1, 2, 3. Pizza.
Pizza.
What? Favorite
How do you get a date in the first place? I could see how one of two things. Maybe either or, depending on who he's talking to. Sometimes if he's not being a complete freak, maybe when he's off camera, he isn't so like this. He comes off as right now, he doesn't necessarily come off as threatening. He's coming off as awkward, but he doesn't come off as threatening. And at first glance, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some people are just awkward, and sometimes that can be endearing depending on the amount and the extent, right? But also, we've seen him as the date goes further on, that he kind of browbeats people into doing things and agreeing with him on things, and I'm wondering if there's any element of that going on in the date. I honestly don't know. Hydrate. Will do. Skippy needs to read this fast. Hydrate. You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Sky Comet Fallen says, I'm watching her blinking to see if she's saying help me in Morse code. And Bittergrin says, also, unmarried Mormon women are under a ton of pressure to get married ASAP. I don't think he exclusively dates Mormons.
Ice cream flavor.
Oh. One, two, three. Oreo cookie.
Vanilla bean. I forgot, like, for a second. I was like, wait, what do I say? Because I was counting. I had to count.
Yeah.
It threw me off. Are our heads chopped off? Is that weird?
No, I think that's good. That works. Oh, nice. Hands free. So some people think that I film all of my own dates, including my most infamous date. Some people know me from Virgin Diaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
She surely must have gone and watched his other dates prior to this, right? You'd think.
Cool, but the best video of me on the internet, in my opinion, is a video called Skippy in Love, which is the cringiest. It's the cringiest. Yeah.
Hey, Beyonce! Quit stealing Skippy's stuff!
Yeah. It's got like 300,000
I want Beyonce calling you up and being like, Skippy, you're trash talking me.
You know what, though? I feel that...
but if she did, wouldn't that be awesome?
The Queen Bee can... she can have, like, my life rights if she wants. I mean, I would love to collaborate with Beyonce on anything in my life. Yeah. Does that get enough of you?
Yeah, we're good.
I feel like it.
Okay, we're good.
It gets on me. Yeah, lean in.
Oh,
the Skippy rape whistle. Because I carry Skippy rape whistles in my car.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. One of the things he often gives the dates... He has self-branded rape whistles, and he'll give them to his dates. Which I'm sure, in his mind, he thinks he's being considerate. Like, hey, I'm so not going to assault you that here's a whistle you could use in case you think I'm going to. But it's like, Skippy, this is... Like, if someone walked up to you on a date and was like, okay, ready to go on a date, and he handed you, like, a can of mace, and you're like, what's this for? And he's like, it's to make you feel safer. Wouldn't you be like, I wasn't as concerned as I am now that you handed me a can of mace, as if I might need it? Astro Fox says, what the fuck? That's the correct response.
So yeah, sometimes when people see my videos, they think that I've recorded all of them. Professional cameras usually do it, but we're making it look like
that's pretty professional.
Professional looking. Yeah.
No, I'm true to the clock, true to the time. Father time.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do I think this conversation would be less uncomfortable if they weren't both on camera? I can't say. I've never seen Skippy not on camera, because that's the only way I can see him. So I don't know if he gets better off camera or worse. Rachology says, here is this R-word whistle, but just so you know, if you do consent, I'm already wearing a condom, so rest assured on that point also. Oh, God. Good lord.
Another thing that is completely useless today's watches. I guess I don't understand why people that carry cell phones and wear watches. To me, that have you ever used your iWatch?
It's jewelry. Some people like to have them, so it's easier if they're in a situation where they don't want to pull their phone out. They can just have it.
When replying,
some people just like watches.
Because if so, I've never once known.
All the time. It sometimes says like weird stuff too. Like last night, I was trying to send a text to my friend.
What's the worst thing that you've had? It might be this. I should shut up and let you tell.
No, it's not this. But she wanted a T-shirt from the Justin Timberlake concert. What?
Oh yeah,
bag.
yeah. You went. You not only went to, you worked at the.
I got paid to go to the concert.
And how was that?
It was Justin.
And what did you do?
It was Justin Timberlake.
What did you do at the concert?
I handed out posters.
You handed out posters to people walking in?
Everybody loved me.
What's the wildest thing you would do for a Klondike bar? What would you do for a Klondike bar?
That's such a bad conversation starter.
Maybe a list of 3 or 4 things that you would do for a Klondike bar.
What kind of thing? I don't, climb into a fountain.
Oh. A fountain?
Oh, okay.
Yeah? Is that not wild? I don't know.
Yeah,
how wild is it supposed to get?
No, that's the thing. It's up to you.
What does a Klondike bar taste like?
We're buying her a Klondike bar tonight.
Bar. So it depends on how good it tastes.
That's true.
If
that's
it's terrible, I'd be like.
No, that's true. That's true.
Nothing.
That is a great, yeah.
Keep your Klondike bar. But if it's delicious, then.
Yeah. What wouldn't you do for a Klondike bar? Yeah. Lip. Let's say I buy you a Klondike bar and it's like super tasty. Would you kiss a guy for a Klondike bar?
This was his plan. This is absolutely something he's like, this is my line. This is how I'm gonna seal the deal. I'm gonna set up the Klondike bar thing, and she's gonna be me buying her a Klondike bar will be her signal to kiss me. He must have thought that was genius in his head. Rachology says people in surrounding cars getting a deep feeling of discomfort they can't understand. Bardlock says, I don't like this prequel. We're George Lucasing it. You're welcome.
I don't know. I haven't had one, so I can't answer. To be continued.
We're getting this woman a Klondike bar. I hope they still make Klondike bars.
He thinks he's nailing it right now.
Ah!
Oh, that's the noise of a woman who knows she is in for such an awkward date. It's already been bad, but this is the moment where she's like, let me go home, please. I shouldn't have said yes.
Okay.
That was the worst laugh ever. That was the commercial. That was thank you, Klondike bar. Please send him 20,000 boxes.
I would love to have my dates sponsored by Klondike bars.
Subscribe.
Reach out to me on Twitter at I am Skippy. Are you on Twitter?
No.
No?
No.
What's
Does that make me not cool?
No, it's
I have Instagrams. Do I follow you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
We're not Instagram friends?
All of my stuff is at I am Skippy. My YouTube channel, my Twitter, my Instagrams.
Skippy. You're getting I am following him right now. This
Are you?
Is a live
do
follow.
I follow you already?
This is a live follow.
Does it say
Following.
follows? Does it say follows you already?
No.
Ah, that's changing today.
My heart's broken.
That's changing today.
It's mine.
Receives notices. What are you? What's
follow that?
What
Deanna, that's my name.
Deanna.
Rachology says, I'm done, I'm out. I'm just gonna curl up in this inviting looking floor until it's done. Respectable choice.
Deanna, DEANNALW47.
47.
Yeah.
Why 47?
I think I got it from BYU. It was my BYU email. It was DLW47.
You weren't born in 1947?
Apparently she is a Mormon. She went to Brigham Young University.
I look good for my age, huh?
You look great.
It's pearl cream. But Skippy doesn't follow me, so.
He will when we get to a point.
We're Facebook friends at least,
We
right?
are Facebook friends, yeah.
I quoted the I Hope You Dance song. I think that's my go-to inspirational song. When
Is I Hope You Dance?
When I need like, let's pump up.
Yeah, what's it?
Yeah, you can handle
Your
like.
pump up song is Sarah McLachlan? Alright.
Like you got it.
I can't play that. No! No! Music! Okay, I'm skipping to part 2. What the fuck, Skippy? So that's part 1. Let's find part 2. Deanna. Where is part 2? Is this one it? No, that's a different woman, right? Where is the Deanna date? There we go. Previously on my date? We don't... It's part... I already... Whatever.
I'm Skippy. If you're watching this, I would think you know that. This is my date. Her name is Deanna.
Hello.
Let's say what it is we're gonna go do right now.
We're going to a show.
We are going to a comedy show.
Comedy show. We're
Yeah.
gonna laugh.
It's improv.
Let's just practice.
It's
It's improv a laugh.
So
he records all his dates. Oh yeah, they're all bad.
Joel Murray was one of the people. Joel, you would know him from Mad Men.
Can we look at his Twitter? I don't know how interesting it would be.
My personal favorite thing that he's been in was his first movie credit, One Crazy Summer. And I said, hey.
Okay, I don't need the last time on. We just watched it. I'm gonna skip ahead to when we're actually at the thing.
Okay, we'll see you there. What's up?
Joel, how are you, my friend?
Scott.
It better not make me remove the section because it's vaguely playing funky music in the background.
I'm doing so well. So this is my friend
so
Deanna.
respectable. Nice meeting you. We'll see you later. We'll see you there. Hi, Deanna.
Hi.
So one of my favorite things about when I go up to Sundance is I like to give gifts to celebrities, right?
Yeah.
And with you guys coming, I brought you guys. Well, I brought you guys some truly unique gifts. So each one of these.
Did he also bring them R-word whistles?
Has its own little Skippy pack in it. So there's one for all 5 of you guys, right? All right. And so in it, it comes with Skippy is my friend. I love Skippy. Some.
Oh yeah, he does this anytime he comes across any celebrities. He tries to give them this gift bag to ingratiate himself into, like, celebrities as friends. Because he wants to, like, become famous and get a reality show. It's super sad.
For each one of you guys, thanks to Skippy, I didn't get rape whistle.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, he did. He gave them an R-word whistle. That's a very normal thing to give strangers.
Bracelet, and then some Skippy stickers. So these are for you guys, and then again, I made it small enough so that you could, and take as. And then.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I should have brought an additional sack for you, but I thought that was some fun.
Gift sack for.
His date's holding the camera.
Yeah, like some Skippy gifts for everyone, and just thank you so much for this one.
Go for the
As soon as you,
Wow.
actually,
Need a
you
fanny
mind,
pack.
should I give you the bag thing?
It's all right. No, it's your bag.
I literally got the bag from up at Sunday. Oh, and here's some BYU.
That's going straight in the trash. Oh yeah, don't eat things crazy people give you.
2 folders, but I was like, oh, there's only 4 of them.
That's
I wasn't
funny,
sure.
though.
Yeah.
I'll take one of them.
Yes, absolutely. Take all 3 of those.
My daughter's
There you go.
looking at college.
There you go. Absolutely.
So I'll get a picture.
Absolutely.
I don't,
And then we'll screen. It's still going the video, right? We'll screenshot. And then you jump in, and I'll point at you. Okay, and then.
He's cleaned up.
H-Baird says he should cut to the chase and give Skippy brand pepper spray.
Since the last time I saw him.
This guy looks familiar, but I can't put my finger on who he is.
At this.
All right, and then we'll just screenshot the photo.
Is he one of the improv guys? He looks so familiar.
Joel,
you probably just aged, and I don't.
Thank you so much. It was
Well,
so
thank you
much
for
fun.
coming.
Thank you.
If you're out and about, we're going to go for a drink at the
Yeah, we're at
Monaco.
at the
The
Monaco, it's like 200 and...
Second south of Maine.
second south of
Yeah, was he on Mad Men? He looks like the guy from Mad Men, but older.
Maine.
We will be there.
We're going to be over by her place. Oh, well, good.
We will be there.
We're back in the car.
So,
Show's over.
Yeah, we couldn't film inside during the show.
No shit. Why would you anyway? Enjoy the show. Why would you film it?
But if you've ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyways, you get the idea. We're now heading to the after party, aka going to the place where they're all going to grab some drinks, and we're going to get to meet the rest of the guys. I assume that I'll have edited in. Oh.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like, I watched that a lot when I was younger. So if you actually knew what Whose Line Is It Anyway was, and you were a normal human being, like, weren't on a date with Skippy, is what I mean, and it was with a normal person, this is actually kind of a cool date. Oh, we're gonna go see a Whose Line Is It Anyway show, and maybe see some of the people that I'd recognize from the show? That's cool. But Skippy just makes it so weird, and she doesn't know Whose Line Is It Anyway? So why would she want to go to that?
I'm just gonna hold it.
Okay.
Here we go.
I assume that I'll have edited in us meeting Joel. What did you think of the show? Had you been to comedy like that before, or just like local stuff like comedy sports?
I've been to comedy sports.
Yeah.
Seen that show on TV.
Yeah. It was fun though. It's I definitely, if the Whose Line Is It Anyways people are coming to your town, definitely recommend going to.
Go to the show.
Yeah. A nice for all ages kind of group. Yeah.
There were some little children.
There was.
In the show.
And they were actually funnier than the adults. It's
not a, well, that's not that's not a stunning endorsement of the show, is it? That's a little weird. If I remember, Whose Line when it was on TV had some at least PG-13 jokes. So that's kind of interesting.
So we're talking about
Brian Doley Murray is Patchy the Pirate and Bill Murray's brother. Oh, okay.
Show afterwards, it's like trying to explain to your friends any improv comedy show. It's like every time it ends with the words "you had to be there," I guess. But it was fun and memorable.
Skippy is 40,
and now
I think.
We're going to go get some drinks with the guys, and by get some drinks, I mean have bar food because I haven't eaten. Are you hungry at all?
I could eat some food.
Yeah, we could get some food, and then at the end of the night, I have a gift for Deanna. A thank you for the date. I've told you about this gift partially kind of thing. We'll see
if you're a normal person having fun on a date, even if it's like not with someone you necessarily like are gonna go out with again. Hopefully, you're a normal enough person that the date was just still a nice time. You don't need to give people gifts after a date as a thank you. That's weird.
She remembers, but I definitely added a couple things since I had told her about possibly getting her this gift.
He now follows me on Instagram.
Yeah.
I follow him.
Yeah.
Instagram friends.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys about like a terrible date I went on in like high school? I don't think I told you guys about it. I'll tell you guys about it. At least parts of it. So this was when I was in high school. Oh, the dude. Okay, so I did tell you guys about this. So most of you probably haven't heard it. So, your company was gift enough, Baha. No, but so back in high school, this was obviously long before I came out as trans, right? I was, at least to myself, knew I was bi, though, and I had never gone out on a date with a guy before. So I was like, okay, this is something I kind of want to, do. So I was on this kind of like teen LGBT-friendly dating site, which honestly, thinking back, super sketchy that was a thing, just because teen dating in general, that's gotta be a huge target for predators, right? But anyway, I did not get predated upon using that site. I actually did talk to this guy. He seemed nice. And we started talking, you know, online chatting and stuff, and that was fine, flirting. We ended up setting a date to go see a movie. I believe it was the first Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. whenever that came out. He was the same age as me. He wasn't a creep or anything, at least not in that way. So we go on this date, and he's awkward. Like, not even Skippy awkward, because at least Skippy is, like, trying to have a conversation. This guy could not, he couldn't talk. He didn't, and that's fine to an extent. Like, I get it. I talk a lot anyway, so, like, I understand, you know, not everyone's great at talking. But he was very awkward. His hygiene was not the best. He kind of had an odor, not like gag odor, but you know, when like a teenage guy clearly is either wearing old clothes or hasn't showered in a couple days or a day or whatever, he had an odor. And then this was the weirdest part. This is what really got me. So he definitely was not older than me. His mom picked us up for the date and drove us. So I know how old he was, which is fine, because we were in high school, you know, that happens. But then we get to the movie theater, and this is the weirdest thing. So, I don't know, we sit down in the movie theater, and it wasn't, like, the most crowded theater ever. So we sit down, and he leaves a buffer seat? Like, it's him, an empty seat, and then me. And I didn't do this. I sat down first. Now I'm thinking to myself, this is a thing like weird straight dudes do, right? When they're like, I'm not gonna sit just right next to my male friend. That's gay. Like, sir, we are, at least to our knowledge at the time, because I was not out yet as a trans woman, as far as the perception was concerned, this was a gay date. We had texted each other about, like, gay things that we perceived to be gay at the time, again, because I was not out. You know what I mean? It was just very weird. It was such a weird no homo moment that I was like, this is weird. I was willing to, like, deal with everything else on the date. But this was weird. It was super weird to me. And then we went back and hung out at his house for a while, and it was super awkward, and I never talked to him again. That was awful. Yes, I'm still gay, but, you know, in the opposite way. Hi, Trey. That said, I hope that guy is living a wonderful life. I have nothing against the guy. It was just a very awkward teen thing. Anyway.
Yeah. And everyone watching this now follows both of us.
Hashtag Graham Pals. Insta
Yeah.
friends.
Insta friends.
Insta-follow.
Insta friends, yeah. Insta friends, yeah.
All that.
Now, do you, like, it's rare that if someone says, follow me and I'll follow you back. Like, I don't do that.
Maybe he was afraid of appearing gay in public for safety concerns. I would understand that if, like dudes sit next to each other in theaters all the time. Like, that's not gay. That's just normal. The only other person in my entire life that I've seen do that is my father, and my father is all sorts of messed up.
Very often, because, like, part of me goes, oh.
We just did it.
Because, oh, no. This is different. This is definitely different. You know, there's, I think I speak for most guys that when an attractive girl says, follow me, I'll follow you back, you go, yeah, absolutely, kind of thing. Until you see her posting photos of, like, a different guy that she's dating, and then you're like, I don't have to see her and another guy all the time. Yeah.
It's just me and my dog.
Yeah.
Traveling.
What's your dog's name?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Sky Comet Fallen says, when are teen dates not awkward? The first guy I went on a date with didn't tell me he was bringing his mom and little sister who insisted on listening to Kids Bop in the car. I went on another date with a dude a little while after that where we hung out at his house, and he picked the movie, and he picked Rent, which was a bummer.
Daisy.
She's the little one.
He was a nice guy, though.
One-eyed Jack Russell.
That's right, she's
One-eyed
one-eyed,
Jack
yeah.
Terrier.
She's a one-eyed Jack. That is
The
awesome.
most adorable dog you'll ever see.
Discordant Vol says, I bet he was an armrest hog and wanted both. Maybe.
And my cat's name is Sundance.
Cute.
Yeah.
Probably won't be best friends.
Yeah, they're like cats and dogs. Will we plan a play date for them? I'm guessing not unless it comes up naturally. You never know, but
It's a little bumpy on this road, sorry.
I think they'll forgive us.
I'm not. I don't know.
When was the last, how long since your last relationship? How long ago? Over a year ago? How long is the longest relationship? You had like a 2 to 5 year relationship, didn't you? Something like that?
Maybe she doesn't want to talk about this shit on camera, Skippy. Have you considered that? Maybe she doesn't want to talk about this with you at all at this juncture, which is also fine.
Yeah.
Like, a first date is not a time I would want to talk about any of this. Like, a first date is supposed to be, like, getting to know each other, checking and seeing, like, what's the chemistry like? Do you have a good back and forth? Do you have a similar sense of humor? Do you enjoy the same, like, activities? Do you, like, it's not about what are your exes, which isn't necessarily any of your business anyway. In my experience, it comes up because I'm open about that things, and the partners I've been with also have, and that's, you know, good to know about people, but, like, why would that come up on your first date? You don't need to know.
Change subject.
Let's do. My guess is if I'm watching this, right, and I'm someone wondering about you, right, I would be like, oh, she's cute. Like, is she fresh out of a relationship? Is she, I mean, like, what would you be wondering about two people if you saw them on a date? Like you're watching the show Blind Date, right? Like, what question, because certain questions shape the personalities of the people that you're watching. I think I've had technically 3 girlfriends my entire life, kind of thing. And I've made out with, I want to say, I think it's 49 is.
Why would you bring this up? What?
The number.
No one needs to know how many people you've made out with. This almost feels like he's trying to humble brag, like, I've made out with 49 women.
That was 40.
Okay. Didn't need to know that.
49 girls?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Only 3 relationships, kind of thing, you know? And
So
I
you're
didn't
just
have
like
my
a little cuddle slut.
Well, I didn't have my first makeout until I was 18, and then my second makeout was when I was like 22 or 23. Like, it was over a year after I'd been home off my mission. I had a gap, and so then I would like ask girls on dates, and if they would kiss, I was like, oh yeah, I like doing this. I want to get better. But that's the thing that I've always thought about, like, oh wow, people in relationships kiss the same person over and over again, right? It's like one person 2,000 times as opposed to, you know,
2,000 people.
yeah, or 49 people, you know, once. How many of those, you know, 49 were repeat makeouts, kind of thing, you know, numbers.
It's a lot of math again.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't like that. I wasn't I think in college, people thought I was easy.
Oh, really?
Yep, guys thought I was easy because I'm
Yikes.
friendly. I'm a hugger.
Yeah. No, you're super
I
chill.
talk to strangers.
You're a hugger, so you think that makes you easy? I mean, I guess you went to BYU. Their standards for what is, quote, slutty is pretty loose.
Super chill.
And so they're like, that girl's easy. So they'd
Are unmarried couples still not allowed to, like, hold hands at BYU?
Come over to make out
Was that an old rule?
with my roommate, and they'd bring a friend. And the roommates would leave, and I, like...
Hugging someone outside of a relationship is actually third base in Mormon baseball.
Sitting on the couch, and there's some guy, and he's like, so... And I'd be like,
And then
"Alright,
you just
well,
expect
good night, I'm going
the
to
make out.
bed."
Yeah.
And he'd go home, and the next day, dude that came over and made out with my roommate was mad because his friends didn't get action. And I was like, sorry, wrong girl.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I think the place we're going is over there. The place we're going, it was Main Street. We've still got one more parking entrance this way. Okay. We're gonna hit pause and go park and find our way there.
Park the car.
Yes. Park. So a couple months ago, I said to Deanna, Deanna and I both go up to the Sundance Film Festival together. And right after the Sundance Film Festival, I said to her, I have a thank you gift for you. And I hinted, I could give it to you on a date if we went on one. And she's like, oh.
Cleanse, play it please. Okay. Alright then. Satisfying cheese compilation. I do. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could just sit and watch this. Oh. Ooh. Oh, right on the potatoes, yeah. Can we just do cheese reaction ASMR? Ooh. Mmm. That does look good.
I'm busy and our schedules didn't meet, right? But I still wanted to give her the gift, and so her last name is Watson.
Don't masturbate to that, please.
And so...
Unless you're Baja. Baja, you can masturbate to it.
So I thought it would be funny to call her Wonder Watson in a text. And so I've got a Wonder Woman. Oh. Yeah, so I told her about this. But I brought a couple other fun things with it. I got a Justice League beanie. And there's no way that this isn't awkward. I just couldn't find the tops to this, but some Batman, some superhero pajamas.
Yeah, he did have to ask someone else to film this, didn't he? That's weird.
Nice.
So yeah. So
you didn't go for the bustier, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't find a Wonder Woman bra. But yeah.
Those are nice.
But I actually do have a top to that somewhere. Couldn't find it. But yeah, that's her thank you for going on a date with me gift. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, he's one of the guys from Who's Line. He's also on Harmon Quest, the Dan Harmon D&D show. Okay, another picture with that guy, who's apparently Bill Murray's brother, according to some of you guys. Yeah, that guy's from. Yeah, I like Harmon Quest.
Okay, so
I have my gift.
We are back at Deanna's house right now. Date is over. On the way home, I told her about how there's polygamists in Utah County. So
who knew?
I legitimately spent 20 minutes, maybe 30, talking about that. Sorry.
What a great first date conversation.
So people watching this later, and I can just, in my mind's eye, 6 months from now, being like, oh, who cares? But just so in case you're wondering when today is Friday the 13th of April 2018.
Wrong movie reference, lady. That's Psycho. That's not even close. Jesus.
And
the wrong sound effect.
No.
Yeah, it is. You want
Is that
In Whose Line Is It Anyways, we were doing a thing. They did a thing about sound effects, and it's been a fun night. That's I thought our date started off on a really fun note of we were improving. Began that way.
It's the truth.
And so it makes sense that at the end of the date, things like that.
We're engaged. Oh, we're not.
No. So sometimes people ask me, like, hey, Skippy, are you still virgin? And my goal is to wait and have sex until after I'm married, right? And so my reply back is two things.
You thought it was It is. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Jason saying, kill her, mommy, basically, but in a sound effect, yes.
Things one. The title of the video. Oh yeah.
Are you tonight?
Big secret. We didn't have sex. Oh, did I ever? You were there. We didn't have sex earlier.
No sex.
You were conscious for the whole
No
day,
sex
right?
given.
Oh, you know what joke you don't make on a first date? You know what joke you don't make ever? Ha ha ha, let me imply that I assaulted you while you are sleeping. That's not a joke you make. That's not a joke you ever make, Skippy. Holy hell. That's not even a read the room moment. That's a read the planet moment. What are you doing?
Like, I shouldn't normally have to ask this, but can you let people know I didn't roofie you once. Not even once tonight, right? How on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think the date went?
That's a weird thing to ask. Nick says, okay, I'm changing my peanut butter to Jif. Meek says, that answers my question why he hasn't achieved sex. Maybe loosen your religious morals, dude, and you'll be happier.
Good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it went good. Would there, minus my talking a ton, because I kind of...
Minus my whole personality.
Went off on telling stories. Minus that, do you think another date...
See what I'm talking about, where he uses the camera and him streaming things live to, like, pressure the women he's on dates with in order to behave certain ways? It's so gross.
Is a possibility on the sure why not, or
you told me you were going to show me where something was on the
I said to her,
it's a secret. It's a secret.
I said to her,
see, Skippy, notice how she would not do a rating system, which is weird to ask anyway. But now when you ask a direct question of, can we get a second date, she's giving it a completely non-committal answer that sort of is a tangent off of that. She's non-committal because she doesn't want to go on a second date with you, Skippy. This has been painful, and I saw an abridged version.
Or, hey, can I show you this one thing? Yeah, maybe for a part 2? You're up for a part 2 of this?
Let the comments decide.
Okay, should we let the people that are watching this?
Never let the comments decide. They're not there for your own good. They're there to hurt you.
And
except all of you fine people. You're wonderful.
Okay, but there's no way that people like me enough for them to...
What does that say to you, Skippy?
Comments are going to say, don't do it. All the comments are going to tell you not to do it. So,
I guess we gotta, don't you love democracy? As Sheev Palpatine once said. I love democracy.
I saw that spooky lighting.
I think we should, if for nothing else... Let the comments
decide.
Okay, we'll let the comments decide. Well, my answer to you is, yes, I would love to go on a date with you, if you're asking, and if you're not, I definitely will be asking for a second.
Her face! Skippy, she didn't ask! She didn't ask!
Okay, but we'll see.
Did you just... She looks stunned, too! Did you just... force a second date upon her, Skippy? What the fuck?
Comments, something like that.
Tell him.
You tell me.
Tell him.
Just in the comments.
Comment.
She's trying so hard. Chat, please save me, is what she's saying.
Comments.
In the comments.
That's so vague and unspecific, but I love it. That's good.
Done
That's
and
good.
done.
You are awesome.
Fives.
Fives, yeah. Who wants a hug or a kiss? It's all about the 5, right? Yeah.
I'm a high fiver.
I actually already got a hug a little bit earlier.
And we never had Klondike bars.
We didn't. Son of a gun.
Blew that one.
There are so many reasons to have a second date.
We'll
Maybe.
never know.
Who knows?
This
Note
hurts.
to self as I'm sitting here with her. Shut up. Like, there's a million other things. So many questions I could have asked you. Instead, I told a story.
And that's the end.
That's the end.
Thank you.
Until next time, I hope.
What else do you do?
No, that's a good way to end. I adore you.
Adios.
Oh, God. No, Skippy, why? That hurt. What was this someone sent? That was something else someone sent I'll have to save. It's alright, we'll do a little bit of this cheese cleanse. See, I don't like the drippy burgers like this. It's completely unedible as a burger. You gotta eat it with like a fork and knife. Don't do this. That pizza looks good though. Nick with the Peter Schiff status. I saw the t-shirt one, or yeah, he's an ass. I already tweeted about it. What a pretentious fuck. That looks like a good deep dish. The ratio of sauce and tomatoes to cheese is pretty good. Ooh, I don't really like pepperoni. That straight up looks like a Panera Bread mac and cheese, which I do enjoy, but it's there is music, but I muted it because usually the music in these videos is copyrighted. Gets pinged. What is that? Just like a cheese curd? Okay. Looks like mozzarella, though. I like cheese curds that are like Wisconsin sharp cheddar cheese. Is that just fresh mozzarella? I mean, I like mozzarella. I don't know if I'd just eat... I guess he's gonna dip... Or she is gonna dip tomatoes in it. God. I think just watching this video is gonna make me not shit for a week. See, I always like these scraping cheese videos. That always looks so good. Someday I'm gonna go to a restaurant with the scrapey, melty cheese. Have you guys ever had, I think it's called saganaki, or it's something like that. It's like a Greek food. It means flaming cheese. Saganaki, yeah, saganaki is delicious. I don't know if you guys have ever had it. They literally
Exciting,
just like
sexy
set
date night and/or Valentine's Day first course.
Sky Come Up Fallen says this guy is in an anime club with me. Once trapped me in an elevator so he could tell me he loved me. We never spoke again. Ew, I'm glad he got out of that. It's really good.
When you consider this Greek club,
it's literally like a cheese that they set on fire. Oh, it's goat cheese. I guess I have had goat cheese. Because I love saganaki. They literally
got a little bit cocky.
Do the cheese like that, crisp it up a little, and then they set it on fire.
Let's quickly remove that from you. 25% is gooey and melted.
And you like eat it on bread or whatever. It's so good.
25% is we're not sure.
What's an S tier cheese for me? Parmesan, Reggiano, or Asiago. This also is the saganaki. A really good Wisconsin sharp cheddar is great. I'm not a big fan of soft cheeses. Brie's okay. I tried some recently for the first time, and it was pretty good.
That's exactly what we have right
Where's the fire? I skipped over it, sorry. It was good, but it's not like something... It's good on pizza, but like... Mozzarella is just a pretty bland cheese, but that's its intent. Mozzarella isn't trying to be striking. I like sharp cheeses. Kirthan says, does cream cheese count as cheese? What about cottage cheese? Again, they're softer cheeses, so I'm not really a fan. Though they have their uses, you know, like in a lasagna or like a stuffed shells situation. They're, you know, stuff is good, like the softer cheeses, but
to follow. But anyway, once that's been lemoned in,
But I'm thinking more cheeses that you just eat on their own or as the main part of a dish.
it is ready.
Delicious. If you ever get a chance, if you ever go to a lot of Greek restaurants, have it. Back in Saginaw, where I used to live, every year they do a Greek fest, and they had that along with, you know, gyros and all sorts of stuff. I'd recommend it. So if you get a chance, try it out. If you like cheese, I'm sure you'll love it. All right, that's 3 hours. That's a stream. Let's go ahead and see who we're gonna raid. Raid. Who is on? Jack is on? Yeah, why not?
Am I the
You want to
cringe?
order? You want to order pizza now? You're welcome. All right, tomorrow we should be doing D&D, so unless anything changes, there won't be a regular stream here. Tomorrow I will be over on Actual Jake's channel doing our D&D stream Charisma Saves around 6 p.m. So yeah, have a wonderful night. I'll be back Friday for another stream, and should be a good time. So I'll see you then. Let's do this raid. All right, now I can press the button. See you guys.